Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Oh, shit.
Just keep it like that. Keep
Numbers
it like
on the board, yes.
He forgot that fast that Pierre was in.
Bro, the first time, this is our second time doing this, but the first time he was right on point.
Yeah,
we ain't discussed it or nothing.
I'm so used to him. I was actually preparing myself for like the fist pump and the handshake.
You can
and
still
I
do
forgot
it.
that he was there.
Yeah, you can do it. Just do it with the ghost.
I can't handshake myself.
With the ghost.
The
He's
ghost?
not dead.
I mean, he's not
just
there.
sick.
Yeah, you said the ghost like he's here in spirit.
Yeah, Pee-wee's sick, y'all. Don't know what it is.
Wishing him
but
well.
We three-man weaving in for today's episode. Get well soon, Pee-wee. How y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling good, feeling great. I think we came back from a great game last night, so I'm still riding that high.
That's a fact. It was a really good game. I'm feeling amazing. I didn't get that much sleep, but it was some quality sleep, so I'm feeling good.
Oh, you ain't get a lot of sleep?
Well, I went to sleep kind of late. Like,
You was on marbles?
Not even. I was just kind of up. My girl was up too, and she was just doing her nails, so I was just kind of chilling with her. So I went to bed kind of late, but
You do your nails too?
nah.
No?
Damn.
Come on now. You gotta have her do yours too.
I'm good on it. I'm good. If I need to get my nails done or like cleaned up, I'll just go get it touched up.
Okay.
Get it buffed up.
I want to tell y'all that we sold out of our San Francisco live show, man.
Hey, clap it up.
man.
Clap it
Also
up. Round of
weekend.
applause.
We are booked. Shout out to everybody that got a ticket. We're going to definitely put on the show for y'all. Make it a night/day/afternoon worth remembering, man.
This
It's going to
was
be a great
crazy
time.
because like it sold out way faster than a Vegas show. And
Bigger venue, if I'm not mistaken, too.
yeah, I know. And this is when they said it was 71%, and then the next few days they like completely sold out. I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, they ready. They ready for the show.
Yeah. And we're gonna get y'all a show, man. Special guests, maybe a couple. You get food on entry.
Still pending on
Merch.
Steph, Clay, Draymond.
Yeah.
Those are still pending
We got the
requests.
ask out.
You know, I'ma always ask for the big names for y'all. It don't ever happen, but just know Millie always put in the big name request.
He ain't joking about, like, we joking about Steph, Clay, and Dre, but they're going
He
to those
requested
meetings and
LeBron before.
He definitely be requesting top-end $1
Even
million
rappers.
guests.
Even rappers.
He sure, you requested with J. Cole once, I remember in a meeting. I'm like,
I
okay.
definitely remember that.
Hey, we in Toronto, you know I gotta request the GOAT,
Which GOAT in Toronto?
Drizzy.
Oh, I thought you meant Josh Okogie.
Oh, he always welcome to.
Okay.
We still don't know if that one day we were shopping, if that was actually Josh Okogie.
Yeah, nobody get that because he obviously don't play in Toronto, but we were walking around Toronto during our live show, and I swear it was a guy that looked just like him. The
By the
only
way, there's
problem
no
was he
chance.
was tall.
Yeah.
He was taller than Josh Okogie.
There's no way that was Josh Okogie, by the
His
way.
big bro. Something.
Was there even an event out there?
No, but it also was the summer. Who knows what people do in their summertime?
Yeah.
You know. Let's drop the mic.
I wanted to ask what in the NBA has disappeared that you missed the most? And I mean, I could throw some out there while y'all kind of think. I was thinking about it, and you don't necessarily got to wish it was back in the NBA. The NBA is good how it is, but like I always do love I used to love the like pin downs for like a mid-range pull-up, or instead of the pull-up, like a mid-range, like how you see Rip Hamilton do, or like shooters like that. Like I remember as a kid, I used to always practice that. Like I'll put a garbage can on like the elbow of the free throw line, act like I'm coming off the screen, and I'll get the mid-range. And you just don't see that anymore. That's not a part of really like offenses. I think Joel Embiid does it. So like they might do it for Joel Embiid to get a little like Nikola Jokic. But other than that, you don't see good shooters do it. It's for like threes this time.
Because analytically,
It just don't make sense.
A
It
lot
really
of teams,
don't make sense.
they're going to look at that and say, why would we take this 20-footer when we could just step back a few more feet and just take the three? Like, that's realistically what they're going to do.
Only guy doing it, and it's more of a dribble handoff than a pin down, is like DeMar.
Yeah.
Really just like DeMar DeRozan. But a lot of DeMar's mid-ranges are like self-created, but when he is in a two-man game with Sabonis, you can see that. My answer to this is like only defensive guys. The Tony Allens, Thabo Cephalosha, like these guys don't exist in today's basketball. You have to play both sides. Even one of the better defenders like Herb Jones is like, at least has been near a 40% three-point shooter. I kind of like that when it was like, they not going to guard me, but they not going to score on me
Andre
either.
Roberson.
Andre Roberson, another great.
This
That's
is-
maybe the prime
This
example.
is a little bit of a tangent, but I've just been thinking about this. Can you be, and just probably examples of it, like, but can you be the best player on your team as a defensive player only?
No. Not
Like
really. Because when it comes down to, like, the playoffs and, like, needing to put the ball in a bucket, that's what they're going to really rely on. Your defense does matter. Like, you're going to be able to prevent that. But also, you're not going to be able to prevent everything.
I'm trying to think about if there's anybody that you could
Like
make
even
that
on the
case
other
for.
side, but like I know there's been some times it's like the second guy is more like the scorer, like whatever. But like being the best player, but you're not the leading scorer, like the guy that takes the most shots or anything like that.
No.
Like, are you possible to be the best player?
Not in today's game, no.
The only guy you can somewhat make a case for, and I'm not even going to do it because I'm sure the other guy's getting a lot of. A few of those Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell years, you can argue that Rudy Gobert was the best player, but also the eye test is going to say, of course, Donovan Mitchell because he's the one scoring the baskets. But you could argue that like his second DPOY, I want to say, that he was the best player on the Jazz. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if many people will just because.
He came to mind when I was thinking about it. I mean, like, even the most elite kind of defenders are like Draymond was never close to the best player on the team. Even if it was somebody different from Steph Curry, I just don't think he would have been the best player on the team.
I mean, you got like Giannis, but obviously Giannis is the best player on both ends, right? With his DPOY seasons and stuff. So
I mean, Dwight Howard was close. He was a defensive masterclass,
but he also was the best offensive player too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but he also was surrounded by offensive weapons who kind of like took the edge off of him from having to do everything offensively.
But I also think he was a leading scorer on every single one of those teams.
He probably was.
So it's like, he's definitely more of a case of like, again, not the same player, but like Giannis being, I'm the best player on both sides of the floor. But he can't do that if Jameer Nelson or these guys don't succeed as well. But that's a good question, man. I don't think you're going to be able to, because even Wemby, who's going to win DPOY, is also a 24-point per game scorer too. So it's like, I don't think it happens.
I think it's impossible.
Because next year, like the best player, you're getting the most shots.
Because essentially, you can't be that good defensively to where you're just preventing a lot of.
What about Ben Wallace? People argue Chauncey Billups obviously may have been the best player. He won the Finals MVP, so maybe that's the case. I'm just thinking about the greatest defensive players of all time. You mentioned Dwight, Rudy Gobert. These guys got multiple DPOYs.
We already know who the best player on that team was.
Right.
Unless you want to talk about him with the Pistons. But no, it was still Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, no. So you're like.
Dikembe.
Kawhi on that Spurs team might have been close to it. But again, he was still providing offense on like at that time. Like he was evolving his offensive game.
Kawhi is a good case. Because his DPOY season, I would assume that he did not lead that team in scoring.
I feel like
not saying that leading team in scoring means everything, but
yeah,
I'm going to look it up real quick.
I'm going to take a guess and say he was probably averaging around like 14 to 16 points that season.
Yeah, just because the whole objective of the game is to score the basketball.
Because I remember his big leap offensively, and like I didn't watch him go crazy in college, but on the San Antonio Spurs, it was critical that he hit that corner three. He had to kind of like evolve his range. This
is so crazy. So the first year of his DPOY, 2014, 2015, they won 55 games. Kawhi Leonard averaged 16 points per game. He was a leading scorer on that team.
What?
Oh, they did it by committee.
They definitely
Who was second? Timmy?
Tony
Tim Duncan.
At 14. Tim Duncan at 13.9.
Manu probably had another
Danny
13.
Green at 11. And Manu at 10.
That is actually insane.
Well, they were defensively crazy.
Yes, they were.
55 wins for that team, too.
And then the second year he won DPOY, he's at 21 points per game, and that's enough to definitely be the best scorer on the team. So even though he got a case, the numbers say he was the highest point per game guy.
16 points being the highest PPG. But they were such a team-oriented team.
What about that? See, even I think about that Grizzlies team because it was more so like it was Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and like you could argue Zach Randolph had some really good years with the Grizzlies, but Marc Gasol was like a really big staple. I'm not sure if he led them in scoring all the time, but like I feel like he kind of has a little bit of a case.
That was a team that was orchestrated around
literally around defense. Yeah. Like they didn't have no superstar.
Yeah, that I think you could do as a team. As a team, if you want to be all defensively oriented, which is a little bit offense, you can make it. You can make that work and be successful. I don't know how deep of a playoff run you'll go on, but you'll definitely be a legit playoff
I'm thinking
team.
about in today's game. And again, all these players that we kind of see, like they evolve their offensive game. Because Scotty Barnes was the guy that you probably say wouldn't be probably always the leading scorer on his team, but even then, he's starting to really pick it up as a scorer. So
I mean, last year's Magic team was defensively oriented, but they had one of the worst offenses. So like, they showed that they can make it work. This year, it has not been that successful due to injuries and a lot of other things. But I guess in a way, you could definitely be a regular season team with that mindset.
Yeah, it just usually doesn't translate well to postseason action.
Yeah, because then you just be able to get schemed against, and teams can play. Like they know exactly what defense they're about to go against every night. You can catch some teams off guard throughout the regular season for sure, especially if you're going against the Wizards. We just finna lock y'all ass up. So
We went last night to watch the Bulls versus Nuggets game in person, which was just great. I wish Pierre was here to kind of recall some of the stuff as well. But me and P were courtside and y'all were lower bowl. Sometimes the Bulls team can look pretty damn good. And it was like, obviously, make-or-miss league is what people say. The Bulls are a make-or-miss team for sure because when they're hitting shots, I think they can compete. And there have been games this season where they lost to basically G League teams because the shot wasn't falling. I
called it in the first quarter.
What'd you say?
I called it in the first.
There's going to be a high-scoring game?
High-scoring game.
It was.
It was so fun. I mean, you don't – when you're in the arena, you kind of get an idea of this. But when you courtside, it's a little bit different. When you hear the call-outs, you see all of this. There was a moment in time, the first possession of the fourth quarter, Aaron Gordon say, I got Io. And Io blew right past him for a layup. That was hilarious. There was a time where Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown was inballing the ball to Russell Westbrook, and Brody told him, go sit on that block. You're going to be wide open. Or, like, sneak on the baseline. We heard him say that. He threw it up to Christian Brown, and Christian Brown got a layup. And then there was a time where a sideline out of bounds happened for the Bulls with the ball, and Jokic is, like, defensive coordinating with Peyton Watson, say back door, like before the play even started, and then the play happened, and then there was like a hard cut up, and then a back door from Zach LaVine. It's like so crazy how these basketball minds, and it goes into Jokic and Russell Westbrook, that these dudes are just fucking supercomputers on the court, where they can see just the formation of your sideline out of bounds and be like, I know exactly what they about to do.
Yeah. And it's crazy because they're not even a team that's in their conference, and it's not even like they played them a lot. So the fact that he's able to know exactly what play they're about to do is crazy. That means he's really in the film room studying the game. And the Jokic don't even seem like that guy. Like, I mean, he's hardcore he's hardcore in the film room, just watching.
Yeah, he just analyzes things differently. I was really I was reminded by that game that 3 just trumps all. It was a period of time where Denver was scoring so easily in the paint. Like, I told D Mills, like, they're running the same play over and over again. It was just a Russell Westbrook and Jokic pick and roll, and the Bulls could not stop it. And honestly, it was like that the whole game until they hit like that little bit of a drought. But the Bulls, the amount of threes that they hit, they could beat anybody on that type of night. Sure. Like, I looked up and it said they hit like 24 threes.
Yeah. Was that Patrick Williams' best night of the year?
Of 2025 by far.
And that's just so
6
crazy.
Points per game.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because I don't
know what he was doing last
year.
Right.
I was like, his moves look so good. Like, they look like some all-star types of moves.
He looks like Kawhi Leonard, the way he moves. That's the only parallel between
But he will have like a 3-foot jumper. He'll try to say he'll be short. Yeah.
Like, but he had his own offensive board like twice and went back up for a bucket, which is cool. Another thing, they were warming up. Me and Pierre sit at courtside. Dalen Terry like, I watch y'all stuff, man. And I'm like, yeah.
He had a good ass game, but Dalen Terry had a really good game.
Good game. You just never know because you just assume that people are strolling TikTok. These players are doing it as well. So I wonder how many players have like legitimately just seen some of our stuff.
I wonder you think LeBron has. You think the top guys have burners for those accounts?
Probably. Hell, I think a lot of people have burners.
Yeah, because there's no way they're not gonna like stuff from Their algorithm got to be just random because they're not liking stuff.
I think it don't even deal with liking a lot of times. It's like intention, right? You watch your entire TikToks like, oh, he like basketball a little bit. Let me put some more basketball there. Jokic is I said this before that Luka Doncic is my favorite in-game person to like be in the arena for.
Why?
Jokic up there too.
Why is Luka?
It's just a show, man.
Oh,
it's just a show. It's so.
I don't
fun.
think I've seen Luka live yet.
Except for All-Star, I would assume.
Yeah, except All-Star.
It's not the same.
No, It's not at all. But definitely Jokic. It was a point in that game in the fourth quarter where I was like, damn, what is Jokic doing? I look up, he had 33. I was like, that's a quiet 33.
He didn't miss a shot until like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he dunked 4 times.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
Yeah, I knew he was dunking, but I was like, it don't seem like
there was that. Somebody, I think Christian Brown was like on a fast break, and D Mills like, why he ain't throw it up to Jokic off the backboard? I'm like, Jokic definitely didn't want that off the backboard. Man.
Do you think Jokic would have been pissed if he threw it off the backboard?
Sure, he probably would just came down with it and laid it up.
Also, we got to see a lot of Matas Buzelis moments.
He looked very confident out there.
Yes, he did.
And it's kind of crazy to say, but Billy Donovan still say he's not ready to play extended minutes. So,
which I understand, because it wasn't about his ability. He mentioned his frame.
Yeah.
And then he does get bullied. Yesterday he was doing the
bully.
He was
doing the bully.
Which was cool. He gave a little shoulder to Peyton Watson and dunked on him. But I understand when Billy says, like, I mean, he's very thin framed. He's like a real 6'10", but like the same weight as
He's like a small forward.
Yeah. But because of the way the team is orchestrated, when he plays for us, he has to be a 4. He doesn't have any small 4 minutes, but I'm sure the trade deadline gonna come. We're gonna see a lot of Modest Buzelis after that. That's
second half of the season, I think he's gonna definitely pick up the minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think he's definitely has a higher ceiling than like a Patrick Williams. But I guess Patrick Williams is definitely more NBA ready, like body wise.
You paying him $90 million, you kind of have to throw him out there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like everybody had a really good game. THT, I ain't see much from him.
Hey, he airballed and he never touched the court again.
Y'all did the Bulls definitely had a couple of airballs.
No, because
hell yeah.
Io and Dalen Terry airballed, but then they end up having a crazy second half of that game.
Yeah, Io is smacking it.
Yeah.
Io, he feeling himself because he had do it a pump fake, sidestep 3, and then he's looking in the crowd for go in. I'm like, hey!
Nah, and I think I wasn't there, so I couldn't say like exactly what moment it was, but he definitely had some times where he went straight to the rim, and it was like, all right, Io. And that's probably the time you talking about Eric Gordon trying to pick him up.
Yeah, a lot of rim press from Io.
Lonzo looked really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was talking to the refs kind of crazy. I didn't realize Lonzo was like
Man,
Oh, he was?
Vucevic was pissed at the refs. Like he felt like he wasn't getting that whistle, and he got that tag.
Yeah.
Him and Jalen Smith both got texts.
There was a moment where he didn't get a foul on one end, and he was yelling at the ref in his native language. And you know, like the light hit at the perfect time. You could see all the spit particles.
Yeah.
I saw every piece of spit that come out of his mouth. The light just hit at the perfect time. And I don't know what language that is, but I'm sure he said some bad shit in that language.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then the ref didn't tee him up?
No, because I mean, you don't know what he said. He could have said, "Thank you so much," very aggressively.
What did Jalen Smith do? Because he got teed up on y'all side of the court.
So he got called for that offensive foul on the screen or illegal screen. Or was it the other play when he fell hard? I mean, it was just normal, just like talking shit to the ref about missing a call.
Oh.
But I guess it was too much, and that was the play right after Lonzo was talking. No, Josh Giddey was talking to him.
Yes.
And it felt like that ref was a little bit on edge because Giddey threw a pass behind his back and it got kicked. And they didn't call kick ball.
I didn't think it was a kickball either.
No, because it was in the floor to play.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he stuck his foot out. But I guess Josh Giddey didn't know that rule.
And on the other side of it, I'm trying to think to myself, what is like Aaron Gordon's defined role? Like, is he just a backup center?
For now, because the Brody thing isn't working out. And it does make sense because Ignaji stinks. And one thing that was interesting after the game and everybody was gone, Ignaji was out still on the court getting shots up, which was cool, I guess. And DeAndre Jordan sucks too. So it's like, what can we do other than play Aaron Gordon?
Speaking of DeAndre Jordan, during the halftime, he was at the free throw line. I swear he missed 8 shots straight. The last 2 were like air balls.
I was like,
I'm not talking about like jump shots. I'm talking about like he's at the free throw line and he just can, like, everything is short. I'm like, how? How do you not just adjust to it? It's got to be different being a 7 foot with like huge hands and just like shooting the ball because it's so crazy. It's just got to mean that like going. I don't even know. I feel like usually you think that like players will spend a summer on it and come back and just be better. It just don't work like that.
I want to get to Amen Thompson.
That game last night was crazy.
So we're at the game, and I'm getting notifications. Amen has 20. Amen has 25. Amen has 30. And then Pierre was like, he tapped me. He pulled up his phone because they got the last possession, and we watched his game winner. And the whole thing I could think about, only thing I could think about at this game, I can't wait to get home to watch Amen Thompson game, man.
And it's crazy because he did all this without even like a jump shot.
Yeah.
Like he's just getting to the basket and he's shooting up floaters. And I just can't wait to see him with an evolved jump shot because there was times in that game where like Porzingis or Luke Cornett would be guarding them and they would just be standing at the basket.
That's
they
why
essentially wouldn't even need consider going out to guard him, even though he was at like the free throw line.
That's why I like that little free throw line jumper he could hit.
Yeah, if
he
can get that, because if he can get a nice mid-range game first and then evolve the 3-point game later, his game can – the sky's the limit for him in Asar.
He does such a good job of closing the space when you drop off of him. They're like, obviously, we all want to say everybody needs a jump shot, but if he never evolves to the point where he's a knockdown shooter, a 40%, 35% shooter, I still think he can be one of the best players in the league, man.
For real? At
Even with
6'7"?
Because he doesn't play 6'7". He plays like a center. He plays like a small Giannis.
I seen a little bit of Zion yesterday in some of them takes.
Zion, Ben Simmons.
Because it was like they're sitting under the rim. It just don't matter. I'm going to find a little bit of space and I'm going to finish over.
I mean, one of the best things he does is offensive rebound his own misses or somebody else's misses. He had the one play where he got the board, literally jumped over Peyton Pritchard's head, got it, and just went straight back up. Like, again, everybody, especially him, could benefit from having a 3-point shot. But
I just think it opens up the game so much more for him.
I feel like we say that about a bunch of players in this similar mold, and they never get to the point where they're great shooters.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm kind of like, I would love him to go all in on the archetype that he is and just refine his traits as a current player.
I think he could do that while also just
Eventually, we see
improving the
players be
shooting.
like, not for me, bro. Giannis don't shoot threes at all this season. After some years, he shot 4 a game.
But now he shoots the mid-range jumpers at a 48% clip.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Stop picking
all.
your fights.
That's all men really need. I think at this point, the 3-point shot maybe could come on later, but if he can get that nice little mid-range game to where he forces guys out to come out and guard him with his speed and athleticism, now he can really just blow by people instead of having to go into a body that's already at the rim.
I mentioned it like 3 weeks ago. I'm worried about the Celtics, and they continue to do stuff like this where they're dropping games. And I think they're 5-5 in their last 10. They're like 3 games over 500 in the last month and a half. That don't look like the championship team that we know. Again, it could be fatigue. Jaylen Brown went to his post-game interview and said the people that we wanted to beat us tonight beat us. Because we talk about Amin Thompson, of course. Dylan Brooks hit 10 fucking threes.
I was going to
Dylan Brooks
say,
was
yeah.
snapping.
He hit 10 threes.
Hey, and Dylan Brooks was talking to JB
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like they had a nice they was going back and forth at one point. And I'm like, damn, this is not a matchup I would think would be like the headline. This Dylan Brooks versus Jaylen Brown.
Mhm.
They really going at it. And then Tatum had a bad game, at least in the first half. He didn't even score.
Yeah. So it's just always in that situation where they leave it up to a fourth quarter, a close fourth quarter. It's just it hasn't been working out for them in recent.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, they were missing Darrick White.
That's yeah. And this is the second best team out west.
Yeah.
Like this is not like they lost to some bums.
Yeah, for sure. But then the Rockets being this good, this fast is so surprising, man.
Mm.
Again, when I came into the season, I thought they could be a playing team.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I thought. They were right there last year. Some progression for some younger players. The Western Conference is so stacked. Do I think that they could take a top 6 seed? Probably not. These motherfuckers are the 2 seed.
It's gotta like
That's crazy.
I think you just gotta really look at the defense.
Yes.
Like they have the ability to really lock down anybody in like any team in the league if they kind of focus in. Like team defense, they have everything. Like big wings that can guard multiple positions. They have people that can guard inside. They have people that can guard in perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that like rim protecting center,
Sure.
but like Şengün is serviceable enough to where he makes it happen.
Yeah, they're like the antithesis of what the NBA fans say they hate. Everybody plays the same, not the Houston Rockets. They don't shoot threes. They can't shoot threes.
Yeah.
And they're still the second best team. Let me read y'all their wins from this month. They beat the Celtics last night. They beat the Cavs back-to-back. I don't know if y'all remember that. They beat the Cavs back-to-back.
Yeah.
They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Grizzlies. They beat the Grizzlies again. They beat the Lakers. And that's all this month. They beat the Mavericks, which I guess shouldn't count because there was no Luka Doncic. But those are their best wins. I ain't even counting for their Wizards games or their game against the Atlanta Hawks. Like, they've beat some really good teams this month, man. And obviously, I think we all understand there's probably a playoff ceiling on this team. But still, it's not a team I want to see in the playoffs.
I think they're also one of them teams. It's like as a new and upcoming team, people haven't recognized them yet in terms of like they don't really have Jalen Green first on the scouting board. They don't have like they're still figuring out this Rockets team. So I think that's kind of like the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of like when Sacramento Kings was on the come up. Like I think teams will adjust, but right now they're riding a really good wave and they're doing their thing. Like
I honestly think that's really beneficial that for them at least right now that they don't have a true number one. Because like teams, how do you if you were a coach going against the Rockets, who are you scheming against?
and because
Like
like
who are you making your defensive scheme
Jaylen Brown
with?
said, like the people that we wanted to beat us. Like Jalen Green didn't have a crazy game. He
No.
only had I think he had less than 15. And it's just like those are things you naturally don't plan. Like I think it's also a benefit if you're a team and your quote unquote best scorer is like he doesn't have his game, but you're still able to win those types of games. And I think it's a step up performances where you get 2 30-point performances that are like I'm pretty sure both of those are like career highs or whatever. But anyways, this team has a lot, and I don't think a lot of other teams are playing for it right now.
Yeah, Jalen Green ain't been good in the last 2 weeks or so.
It's all right. He'll pick
give
it back
you
up.
3 weeks of amazing.
He's gonna
hoops
pick it
and
back up.
We'll see.
The stretch he was on was amazing.
I read an article early this morning when I woke up. It was from Owen Phillips, I want to say is his name. Owen Phillips from the F5. And he was basically saying something we've said before when Jabari Smith Jr. does come back it's going to be hard to take Amin Thompson out of the lineup. Almost impossible. Like, Amin Thompson should be a full-time starter for the rest of his career at this
Jabari
point.
just had to come off the bench now.
He make the argument that it's not Jabari that comes off the bench.
Is Shingon?
No, hell no.
Dylan Brooks.
Hell no.
Who?
It's Jalen Green. Here are the numbers.
So, that would be a big lineup.
Here are the numbers. When it is Amin Thompson and Jabari Smith Jr. on the court together with no Jalen Green, they have a plus net rating of plus 17 in 223 minutes. When you add all three of them together, they have a negative 5 net rating in 213 minutes. Pretty much the argument is you kind of don't need the archetype of Jalen Green on the court as much as you think. You think about them needing to go-to scorer, but the numbers say their offense is way above average when it's no Jalen Green, and their defense is the best in the world without him.
I've seen it. Maybe not against the Celtics. Maybe it's a game they played before. They looked really bad in the fourth quarter. Like they were looking around like they didn't know what to do with the ball. And I think this is when
they have fourth quarters like that to where
that's why I say
hard for them.
They kind of do need that shot creator sometimes because when it comes down to it and like you need that back and forth scoring,
but
they
if
need
he's not
something.
providing that.
I think you're talking about the Pistons game a little while ago, right? Like a week or so ago.
It might have been. They just had it was like 2-3 minutes left. You're down 8-10 points, and you're like, we're just going through the motions. We're just looking around for somebody else to make a play, and that's when you do need that Jalen Green type.
And I do want to say, for what it's worth, I'm just saying his argument.
Yeah,
and he's got the stats to show it.
Yeah, but I'm to kind of what Mike, when Jalen Green isn't scoring, and you saying you need it, he's not really providing you much more. Like if he's not making his shot, it's just, and he's a bad shot taker too. So like it's kind of hard for me to say.
It's necessary at moments.
But if he's not no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying when it's not falling like it is right now, he's not really benefiting you in much.
The super unfortunate part is you never know what type of game you're gonna get.
Yeah, you don't know.
Right?
The
you can't say like
unpredictability of it is.
Yeah, I don't. Jalen Green's not gonna have a game today, so Barry, you start. You don't know when he's gonna have the 30 piece. You know, so
that's kind of frustrating to deal with as a coach.
I'm sure it is, but Ime has empowered his players so much that whether it be Jabari or someone else to walk away from the starting lineup, I think they'll accept it with open arms because the team is so successful. You don't want to be acting like Jimmy Butler on a second seed team, one of the young second team seeds. You just have to fit in where you get in. And if you want to get your starting spot back, go fucking hoop for it.
Yeah.
You ain't getting it from my man, I'll tell you that. But maybe you could take it from somebody else. Who knows? Who knows? I actually just got a notification right here. Several teams have reached out about Jimmy Butler, which we're going to get to next. And the Warriors are back in the mix.
Because it also just came out that the
asking
Miami
price,
Heat
right?
has lowered their asking price for him just because of what just happened. So I'm guessing now everybody's like, ooh, get him a little cheaper?
That report is from Kevin O'Connor. The Warriors are one of the several teams back in the mix for Jimmy Butler now that the Heat have lowered their asking price.
Yeah, and Brian Windhorst is the one that
This
reported
feels like
this morning.
Same continual cycle. Where it's like we're going to put a super high price. It's not going to work, so we're going to end up going with the low price.
Well, they also decided to not put him in a starting lineup, and that's what pissed him off. And so then he walked out of shoot-around, and then that's when they suspended him indefinitely.
Yeah. Which, again, I've never understood bringing him back to the locker room at all, given everything that's going through.
I don't understand. You just stirring the pot a little bit more by not throwing him in the starting lineup.
It seems, it seems intentional.
That was probably their intention.
Yeah.
It's like we want to get a reason to
it.
suspend him again.
Because you can't send a person home without paying them.
Yeah.
So if he's suspended, if he gives you a reason to suspend him, you don't have to pay him whatever money is guaranteed to him for that span. So, like, we know Jimmy going to flip out. Hayward Highsmith is better than you right now. Deal with it.
And it's going to be wherever it's going to work out for Jimmy. If they ended up pulling trigger and trading him, he's going to end up in a solid spot, I'm figuring.
Again, for what it's worth, Jimmy Butler's one of my favorite players of all time. If I'm an opposing GM, I don't feel great about this.
I would feel the same way. Every time he has had a destination, the departure is just wild.
Yeah.
And even I guess, low-key, because Stacey King said his departure from the Bulls was crazy. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, Stacey King, he was sitting here listening to it, and apparently Stacey King said that what happened in Chicago was 10 times worse than what happened in Miami. And I'm like, How'd they keep that under a microscope to where nobody heard
anything? I thought we knew that there was tension between Fred Hoiberg and Jimmy, and they picked Fred Hoiberg. That was the extent us fans had. You gonna pick a coach over an all-star? What the fuck? But maybe it makes sense now, because maybe Jimmy was on some BS and we just don't even know. It seemed like every stop except for what? Philadelphia?
Even then, it was still Tobias over me. But
he was on Miami when he said that.
Yeah, he didn't get any tactics to get out of there. He had the tactics to get out of Minnesota, tactics to get out of here, and I guess the Bulls as well. So if I'm an opposing GM,
well, he wasn't on the contract. Oh no, did they trade for him? Because that's how Josh Richardson went there, right?
Yeah, it was a signing trade.
Yeah, the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
one of those fake. We don't have salary. We don't have cap space. We gonna make cap space.
Yeah, that's when they gave Tobias that $40 million annually, and Jimmy was like, Tobias. Then he came and bust their ass on the Heat, and he was like, Tobias over me.
Then we got Timberwolves where he go against the practice, where he's playing with the practice squad.
Now he should have did that with Miami. I would have loved to hear about that.
Him and Pele Larson hooping,
busting Tyler Hero on Bam ass.
Talking about y'all ain't got no.
Wait, what team is Kel'el Ware on? Because that team winning.
Kel'el Ware's
he a starter now.
He a starter.
I don't know, Jimmy.
Jimmy don't really got no beef with the players on the court. It's more so the front office.
Yeah.
So like with Minnesota, it was like
you think it was both in Minnesota?
Yeah, because he called them soft. He called Cat and Wiggins soft. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit of both. But here, it seemed like he still loved Tyler and Kevin and all these other dudes. He just don't fuck with Pat Riley. Well, I guess don't mess with Spoelstra's plan offensively, and that's kind of what one of the catalysts is to all of this.
And I feel kind of bad. I feel bad for Eric Spoelstra because he's constantly got to go through this, like, it feels every day at this point where they're just constantly asking questions. And he just wants to coach.
He just want to coach about.
He just wants to coach, regardless of who's out there.
And I think all the players probably just want to hoop. They don't want to deal with it either.
Yesterday they went to double OT against the Orlando Magic, good old rivalry, and dare I say that them two OTs with Bam Adebayo, I'm like, that Bam looked back. He looked back. He was incredible. Kel'el Ware also hit 4 threes. They got some stuff working in Miami. So like if you get some assets back from Jimmy Butler, you can kind of walk away and be like, Tyler Hero might be an all-star. Kel'el Ware looks like a fucking he looks
amazing.
Like, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say that. Give me 2 more months. He looked like the guy that dropped 40 and 20 last night. I'll just say that. Give me 2 more months. I need a little bit more sample size. Yesterday specifically, he looked like that guy with a jump shot.
With the jump.
Boy, stop messing around with Kel'el, man. Don't leave him open no more. One of the shots he hit was heavily contested corner 3.
I know he got a nice little midi.
Yeah.
But for him to hit 4 threes.
And he also just go up there and get it.
Yeah.
Listen, we did our mock draft. I had the Bulls drafting him, and I fucking wish we did.
Yeah.
No disrespect to our boy Modest. Of course, you're rooting for you. Maybe you are better. We just don't know. You play 12 minutes per game. But that dude looks like a stud. He just really does.
Yeah, I think this rookie class has been showing us a lot. That it might not have had that big star-studded name, but we have a lot of good quality NBA players. And I think there's value in that.
If you had to pick 3 players from this class to be all-stars, because the worst class of all time has 3. Every draft class in history has at least 3 all-stars. Who would those guys be, 4 months into their NBA career?
Jared McCain, for sure.
That feels great.
I think he can definitely get some off. Probably
I'll say Stephon Castle.
Donovan Clingan might be able to sneak in now.
I hope so. We just don't see enough of him.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Zach Edey. Zach Edey will play 16 minutes every game.
But I think Donovan Clingan is a little different though. He just has a bunch of people loaded at his position.
Yeah.
That they're good, and they're also trying to increase Time Lord's trade value, trying to get him off. Aiden's getting $33 million a year, so it's just I don't think it's a him thing. I think it's just more of a situation.
So he's got to be a backup for the first 2.5 years of his career, unfortunately.
Like a damn quarterback.
Aiden.
He's like Patrick Mahomes. But that first year he's a starter. Who knows?
Hey,
Super Bowl.
Aiden might have to move his ass to the bench.
In the last year of his deal, just moving to the bench.
Whenever. And also probably Kel'el Ware. Kel'el Ware could probably get in there. I'm trying to think of any other
I love when we
rookies.
live in a moment like this. Because it's been 3 weeks since Kel'el Ware has been an NBA player for real.
But he has so much talent.
He has
that
so
you're
much
just
talent.
seeing on full display.
Talent was never the problem. Like
it was motor.
It was motor. It was enthusiasm. Because I remember Pierre telling me about him when he was at he started his career at Oregon.
Yes.
He was one of the top recruited guys.
To Indiana, right?
Transferred to Indy because things weren't working out. And nobody questioned his talent. It was like, can you convince him to just be a professional? Can you convince him to try to take his game to the next level? And maybe Miami is a perfect place for both of those things.
I just saw a video last night talking about how
They call him the Kryptonian, by the way, which is fucking hard.
the video I was watching last night was talking about how Anthony Bennett, the big reason why he only lasted 4 years is because his motor. And like he didn't really care for the game as much as people thought he would, and he came in to training camp on the first day like 15 to 20 pounds overweight, and like he got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then after that, his career pretty much just died off.
That's insane, because some dudes can get away with that because their talent is so heavy. Anthony Bennett didn't have insane talent. He obviously was talented, but like, not to put it on the same level, but Zion can kind of coast his way with having bad nutrition and stuff like that because he's so damn talented. Anthony Bennett never had any of that.
I was thinking the opposite. I feel like he has to keep in shape. Like
Anthony Bennett or Zion?
No, Zion. Like if he does come out of shape and everything, for one, I think that just worsens his helps the chance of injury right there. Just the way he plays, and two, when he's like physically, like when we see him, he's like, man, Zion looks like he's physically in shape. He looks like, I feel like that's when he's playing at his best, just because it helps his game.
Yesterday he looked incredible. I didn't watch the game, and I've watched his possession, so that can always be kind of skewed because they don't show you the random bad pass that went out of bounds. But his second jump is not as good as it was 3 years ago, but it's still there.
That just sounds so crazy, KB.
Why?
His second jump isn't as quick as it was. The dude's like 25, 26 years old.
Yeah, I know. But you think about all the injuries and lower extremity injuries.
Zion's not that old.
He still give you. He only 24, I think, or 25. But he can still give you, like yesterday, I think he had 30.
Yeah.
Still give you that.
But it don't even make sense to say someone at 24 has declined athletically.
It doesn't, but it does when you consider his history.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you have knee injuries and like problems like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, he's 24. He turns 25 soon.
It's insane.
His birthday's 2 days after mine. Eee! Hey, shout out Cancer Twin.
Who is this? They tweeted somebody's like, so-and-so is about to be 28 years old. And it was a player that I swear to God I thought was older than me this whole time. And I can't remember who it was. But somehow I'm older than this guy.
Was it Bam?
No.
Do y'all ever look at players and be like, well, I'll just say my example, because I was watching Kyrie Irving. He was at the free throw line. You just see the gray hairs, and you're like, I watched this guy when he was a rookie.
Yeah,
like when he was first coming in.
He was talking about how they still call him Unc. And I was like, how old? I was like, Kyrie's only 32.
Yeah.
But he is probably the oldest. Is he old? I think he is the oldest guy on that roster at 32.
Is he the oldest guy on the roster?
There's no one else that's really old on that roster.
I mean, I could just double check.
Oh, it was Saquon Barkley. There you go, Devon. Devon on the Omaha team. Saquon Barkley's younger than us. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
No, I remember watching.
How old is he? 28?
I remember watching Saquon Barkley's his college highlights because like I don't even watch college football, but when like his highlights popped up, I was like, I gotta go watch this dude. And to see him now, and he's only 28 years old, it's like that shit had to be 10 years ago, like a decade ago.
Isn't that insane, bro?
Yeah.
The Kyrie Irving one hit hard though, because he definitely gray as hell.
He is, but he's only 32.
Yeah, he's got like the face wrinkle. Like he looks old.
In the NBA.
Oh, he's not the oldest player on the team. He's got 4 players in the locker room older than him. Can y'all name them? One of them is a starter with him.
With him?
Klay Thompson.
Oh,
Klay Thompson's 34 years old.
Oh, Dwight Powell?
Dwight Powell's 33 years old.
Oh, wow.
Another forward/center who just got injured. Maxi Kleber. And then one guy
older than him?
Yeah. One guy I'm going to give y'all because you didn't know that Markieff Morris was still on this roster, did you?
Oh.
He's 35. He's actually played 7 games this year. Shout out to him.
That's crazy that the Morris brothers really was good, man. But then they decline was
I think they had normal NBA player decline.
They had normal careers.
It's actually saying that Marcus is not in the league anymore.
Marcus had a good season last year, I thought. Wasn't that Marcus who ended his season with the Cavs?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And then he had some pretty big playoffs games for them too.
Bro, Marcus, when you look at his basketball reference, how many jerseys he wore is insane. Yeah. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do y'all remember him playing in 10 different organizations?
He also got traded a lot.
He got traded a lot for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought Marcus was the better one most of the careers.
Well, at the beginning of the career was Markieff.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it switched to Marcus.
We need more twins in the NBA. Both of them. Because we got solo. Like, isn't Anthony Davis a twin?
Yeah, but his twin is a girl.
Right. Right, but I'm just like, we have one side of twin. We got the Thompson brothers, was of course Thompson twins. That cool, but like,
Is there any more?
We just need brothers.
Is there twins in a W?
that's a very good question. I'm gonna say no and hope that somebody on the back end is googling it for us. But I'm gonna say no. It feels like every time I go to a Bulls game, the games around the association are fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, so I got home and again I watched the Ahmed Thompson
Well,
thing.
At least you were in present time at a great game.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I have no idea about the Wolves versus Hawks game. That was an 8-point game. Was it a good 8-point game? I don't know. I watched the last minute of Suns versus Clippers. The Clippers had that steamroll back, but ended up losing to the Suns. So I can't really account for much. What I will say is I saw some conversations on Twitter about Ja Morant.
About
What they saying about Ja?
Like you about to
he's
go to
not-
war for him?
That's my
nah,
man.
people were saying that he's not that good this year.
So far this season, he's 20 points per game, 7.5 assists, 4 rebounds, 44% from the field, 30% from three. And then his last couple games, he's got 10 points last night against the Knicks. He had 11 points the night before that versus the Jazz. He was out with a sickness the game before that. Then he had 16 and 19. Basically saying that we're not experiencing the Ja Morant explosion like
For
we
sure.
did 2-3
For
years
sure.
ago.
And they've been doing so well this season, I guess kind of without that, and it's been fine. And honestly, I've been looking at it more so it's just like they have so many weapons.
Mhm.
And they run about like 9, 10 deep. A lot of times he's being the initial playmaker, like the main playmaker and guy, and he's looking for other people. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. seems like he's been the guy that's been like, let me go get the bucket.
Genuinely their best
Yeah.
player by a wide
Oh,
margin.
bro, do you know how great it? I remember when Jaren Jackson post-ups really weren't that of an efficient play. Now a Jaren Jackson post-up is like a very efficient possession that could just end in something very quality.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like, why would I give him the ball? But now it's like, give him the ball.
Right. Yeah, you had to go through the bad sides of it
Yes.
to get to now. So like there was when Chuck and Ernie and all those dudes gave their all-stars from last week, you saw Chuck had Norman Powell in there, he had Jalen Green in there, which is fucking crazy. Norman Powell obviously has a legitimate chance. I think Jalen Green has a 0% chance. And I tweeted that like Chuck had blank and blank in this thing. And then there was a Clippers fan, which of course they ran for their boy. Shout out to him. Was like, I might seem crazy, but he definitely got a case. And I'm like, Chuck didn't have fucking Anthony Edwards for one.
And he had Giannis. Was he the one
Giannis
who
had
had
Giannis
Giannis
on the bench.
as a reserve?
And I was like, even though Norman Powell's been phenomenal, there's no argument for him over Jaren. There's no argument for him over Anthony Edwards. And they were like, yeah, Kenny, there is an argument for him over Jaren. I was like, y'all not watching Jaren then. Because Jaren has been the best player on the 3-seed Western Conference team, and he might be third in DPOY this year.
Yeah.
He's obviously not the complete package. That feels like an extreme, but like he's been so fucking good this season that it kind of gets glossed under the rug because the Grizzlies are this win by committee team, but he's able to
Why isn't he in MIP conversation?
I think I feel like
I don't think
was
his overall counting stats have changed that much.
But I think if you watch him, you could definitely tell that this is a
that's
different basketball
I think
player.
that's the problem though, Darrick.
Like I don't think counting stats do matter.
Mhm.
But like watching Jaren, you can definitely tell he's a significantly better basketball player.
But I think he already put himself in a different tier when he was an all-star in the DPOY a few years ago.
That's true.
I don't know how many players
Yeah.
get all-star. I wouldn't say fall off, but like have a bridge year. That's what it was
Yeah.
for them. And then come back and they'd be like, that's the guy. Because he
Yeah.
was an all-star before already.
He
And
was.
I'm looking
and
at
DPOY.
in the
So yeah,
DPOY.
it would be weird to give him MIP.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm looking at his stats, and basically it's like the best year for him finishing at the rim. And you can kind of
Yeah.
tell, like, anything he gets near the rim, I'm talking about off the dribble, too. He's finishing very easy, and I think that's going to, like, that's just over the experience over the years of kind of, like, having to carry that offensive load, especially when they had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. Now everybody's kind of back. He's all putting it together, and scoring is just, it's natural for him at this point.
Yeah. I think I said before that having Ja on the court would just make everything easier for him. Just because efficiency-wise, it's going to increase for him. Just because Ja's going to make it so much easier. That's the stuff that people aren't going to see that Ja's doing as well.
Yeah.
Ja is the main guy putting rim pressure and collapsing the defense and making plays for guys that's making guys like Jaren look amazing.
Right.
Not that Jaren needs
It makes it
Ja
easier
to
for
look
the
good,
guys.
but he sets the table for everybody and makes it all easier.
Oh my God, here's a tweet. Oh my goodness. Well, you know how they always talk about like the NBA does a very poor job of marketing their young players, marketing players that aren't in big markets. Here's a tweet from the NBA. Tonight, We have a defensive battle. And who do y'all think the players are they have on here?
I don't know the slate tonight.
It's Dyson Daniels and Amen Thompson.
Oh,
They're
that's
promoting a Dyson Daniels Amen Thompson matchup, bro.
Hey, that sounds amazing.
Right? The game probably gonna be dog shit, but like the fact that they're
Oh
promoting
yeah, and they
this
both
stuff,
just played last night.
yeah,
too.
Yeah,
right,
I was
so
gonna say they
back-to-back
both on
for
them back
teams,
to back.
yeah. But
Where's
it's
it
Back
at?
30 balls from men.
it's at Innocent Atlanta. So they also give some stats. Dyson Daniels leads all players in deflections with 6.4 per game and 3.1 steals, which is still crazy. The Great Barrier Thief is the nickname. Looks to be the first player to average 3 steals in 34 seasons. Do y'all remember who did it in 91?
Jordan.
Alvin Robertson.
Oh.
Thompson's combo of size, strength, and athleticism allows him to guard nearly every position, which is really a fact when you think about it. In the 15 games that started, he's averaging 2 blocks and almost two steals and almost 2 blocks with 18 points per game.
And Ben Simmons wanted to bring that ball up. He just had to sit on that block.
Hey, no bullshit. Ben Simmons came in as a 4-man. And he probably is like a good passing 4. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like Amen Thompson's not strictly a 4. He brings the ball up occasionally as well. But like if they would have just bought into Ben Simmons being this super 4 instead of putting in his mind that he was a point guard, who knows? The interview he just did with Young Man in the 3 was pretty interesting though. The clip that went semi-viral was him talking about how he took Philly fans for granted.
Yeah.
And I find that pretty endearing. Philly is one of those fan bases that like, who knows if they'll ever accept him back after the way it ended. But it feels like he would be open to going, himself would be open to going back.
Yeah, it sounds like it seems like Ben has been through a lot mentally throughout that whole situation, and it seems like he's definitely done the proper steps of like healing, and he's much more comfortable talking about it. And I remember the report came out that he reached out to Joel Embiid and they talked or whatever, and I'm just like, that's probably stuff that he's taking the proper steps and getting over it, and that's partly just getting him back into enjoying basketball. Like that's probably what he really needed to do.
Anytime somebody say that on the show, you got to look at him and point. So Brand is right there in that corner. Yeah, man, I think there's obviously a human element to everything, and I think that kind of gets lost in sports when so-and-so player does this and so-and-so player's out with an injury or they drop a pass at the goal line. You forget that these are also human beings.
You may have to throw Mark Andrews out there.
I ain't say his name.
Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal's wife just posted something on Instagram saying the same thing, where it's like, we had to get security because it just got to a point where it's just like, you got my kids crying and stuff like that. And then, well, I don't know if it was directly at the kids, but
that was one of the worst cases because Bradley Beal hasn't done anything.
No.
Like he comes to work, he hoops.
He's professional.
He's good at basketball. He's just not playing to his contract. And because the fan base has now accepted the fact that he is going to be traded, they've taken shots personally at Brad, which I feel like is not necessarily fair.
No, because he hasn't really. It's not like Bradley Beal is the one in the front office like, trade me.
He has been like, hey, don't trade me here, because he could say that. But
it did come out he don't want to be traded to Chicago.
Hey, shout out to fucking Bradley Beal for that, by the way.
saved out a couple more years.
He saved the franchise. Didn't even recognize how much he just saved Chicago, man. Brad, you forever in my heart for that alone. But yeah, when we talk about like doing some things around the kids and the wife, that's just get too nasty, bro.
That's
get
just
too
too
nasty.
You always got to keep the kids and the wives and stuff out of this. They're just innocent bystanders.
Yeah, and you gotta think about like, at least the way I hope it is. His kid probably looks up like, that's my dad.
Yeah,
like
that was
he's my Superman.
I don't know if y'all
saying
seen the
about
whole
him.
story, but that was basically it. It wasn't that like they were talking to the kids or the wife. Dude was basically like, get the F out of my city, like trade for Butler. And the kid's like, why is he saying all this stuff about my dad? And like, obviously it disturbed the kid. Yeah. So that's what got him out. But it's just like, at the end of the day, these are real people on the court. You know?
wonder, was that a grown man doing it, or
I had to be a grown man.
Hiding behind a fake profile picture?
No, that was
at the game.
No, that was the next. Oh,
that was at the game.
Oh.
But in the post too, she's talking about how like a lot of people wear this mask on the internet and they kind of say whatever they want, but they wouldn't say that to nobody's face.
They feel secure doing that at games too.
Yeah, because it's the hive mind, right? If I'm here with 20,000 fans that also love the same team as me, I can kind of do what I want.
Hey, by the way, shout out to the mom or whatever, the family that was behind us, because they was real wholesome at the game.
Oh, were they? Where were they
Usually, I don't know
have
if he
no
was really
idea.
paying attention, but
Okay.
like
Oh,
usually
you
it's
about
like
the kid?
it was a kid and like his mom or whatever. And usually, I feel like every time at the game, it usually be people behind me that be like kind of like not even angry, just be kind of disrespectful or whatever. But like she was real knowledgeable about knew the game, knew the players on the floor. And she was like, she just knew the game and she really enjoyed it. So shout out to her.
You want to know what was so funny that I noticed at the game? That was so crazy. Jalen Smith was in the game for whatever. He was hooping, and then the lady in front of me, I see her Googling Jalen Smith, and she goes to images. And then it was funny because he had a picture. She even zoomed in on his face. And I'm like, she did not know who. She just found out who. She was like, who is dude on my favorite team?
Hey, you know, casual fandom.
No, yeah. And
It's the best kind of fandom.
Yeah, at least she went about her. She took a few minutes to look up who he is, so she's not familiar with him.
And she probably rooting for him until he not a Bull no more. Yeah. Bradley Beal definitely say Chicago, though.
But I think he would probably be a nice Buck.
Maybe. I mean, Roman Mills is all over
help
the place
Dame
right
on?
now with this big trade, man. Zach LaVine is here. Bradley Beal is there.
Yeah, the
Jimmy
Bucks.
Butler's here.
Zach would also be a great fit with the Bucks. Honestly, Zach he could fit a lot of places, so I'm not even really mad at it. I was telling Mike that he would be a nice Laker.
He would. I think that ship has sailed, though.
Yeah.
After 3 years of rumors, I think that ship has
And they
sailed.
talking about they not even interested in none of the bigs no more.
Congratulations to the LaVine family, though, introducing another kid into the world.
Yes, beautiful.
Soon. They had kept it low key. When
Yeah.
we went to Derrick Rose night, I saw her, and
Yeah,
she was
walking out
pregnant
the
as
tunnel.
hell. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, she about to give birth any day now.
Yeah.
And now he's out for
Few
few games just so he can be there for the birth of his third child, I want to say.
I think so,
It'd be
yeah.
crazy when they said like he flew right after the game to see the witness the birth of his child.
Yeah. I remember Rudy Gobert missed a playoff game because of his first was being born. I think it was Gilbert Arenas that was on his podcast like, you got to be at that game, bro. You got to be at that game. Like, bro, y'all are so lost. I understand the competitive nature, but can you imagine telling your kid or your kid finding out that you weren't there when they were being born?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Wasn't it
to
the
me.
Minnesota series?
Yeah, and they won the first game too
Yeah.
without Rudy Gobert, so it didn't matter at the end of the day. They didn't need him.
Yeah.
But
That's actually crazy. I don't remember him not being there, but Minnesota did win.
they won that game.
So, hey, as long as you get the dub.
That's all you get. That's all.
Yeah.
And then you got to be there for your babies.
And it's not like they
bro.
won a championship.
Oh, they was going to win a championship.
Didn't even come close.
Yes, they did. Conference
Yeah,
finals.
Conference finals push.
That was a couple years later.
No. This
No,
was
that was
last
that
year.
year?
Yeah, it was last
Oh.
year. First game of last year
Let me
against
put some respect on Rudy.
This is the Sun series, right?
Yeah, the Sun
And
series.
what
Sun
year is
series.
that?
Last year.
Yeah.
His DPO West season that you continue to disrespect.
Oh, I'm talking about the birth of his son.
Last year.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like that happened in Utah?
Mm-mm.
No,
It
that
was
happened last
season.
year.
I did not remember that happened last year.
Yep, he missed the first game, and they went on to sweep them boys. So it's like, it's all good. All good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, KD, why he had to do him like
Darrick, can't be there for the birth of your second kid. We got a podcast episode on Tuesday.
That would be crazy.
you got to get
That's
this
so
TikTok
crazy,
done.
I'm getting TikTok done while
Darrick, how many NBA players can you name in a minute? And that's the shit you doing instead of being there for your kid.
Done that shit on Zoom.
Big breaking news. The Warriors are retiring Andre Iguodala's number 9.
Hey.
I saw
like that.
Bezos tweet this a couple days ago after Vince Carter got his number retired. In y'all opinions, what is the criteria to get your jersey retired?
I think you have to mean a lot to the fan base, and I think you also have to you have to have done something very significant to the organization, like putting them in a big push where they were good for years and years while you were there, championships. Iguodala's obviously won a lot of championships with the Warriors. He won Finals MVP. So I think he just means a lot to their organization. So I respect him getting his jersey retired there. Now, like, would Philly retire his number? Probably not. Would Denver? No. So, like, the Heat? No. So, like, he's only going to.
Golden State, it doesn't make
Golden
sense.
State is probably the only team that's going to do it.
I think that too, where it might not be like a statistical point you have to reach, but it does have to be significant impact to the franchise. Whether it be like you're there for 14 plus years, or I think you win a championship or two. And it got me thinking about some other players too. And Iguodala makes a lot of sense for the Warriors to retire.
So, like, does Noah get his jersey retired?
You know, Chicago has been so strict
Yeah.
that maybe not.
Would Jamal Murray get his jersey retired by the Nuggets?
I think if they win another championship, he'd probably get one. And if he spends the next 7 more years and they continue to be successful, that's a good question though. Because who has their jersey retired? And so Dikembe, right? Who else would have Dan Issel? I don't even know who would have their jersey retired.
That's crazy. Melo's not gonna get his jersey retired with the Nuggets.
He literally can't. he would have to get a new number.
That don't even make sense.
So here are the retired jerseys. You got Alex English, 11 seasons with them, 26 points per game. You got Bill Russell. He's all over the league. Fat Lever at numbers 12. David Thompson at 33. Byron Beck, who only played in Denver for 1 year, and he averaged 4 points per game. So there's a story behind that I don't know. Dan Issel, Dikembe Mutombo, and Doug Moe, who was the head coach, and then for some time. So he don't have a jersey number. His jersey is 432. Don't know what it means, but I'm assuming that's the amount of wins he had in his tenure.
Oh, probably.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think about the other players around the league that probably get their jersey retired. James Harden is getting his Rocket jersey retired for sure.
100%.
Like,
I think to answer that question, what I was saying, because people also question Derrick Rose this one because he only won an MVP. They didn't go to the championship, and people question Vince Carter's. In my mind, in order to get your jersey retired, it's about fan love. At the end of the day, this is not for the other 29 of the team. This is for our fan base. And if this person grew roots here and did this here for 10 plus years, fucking Nick Collison has his jersey retired. Nobody questioned Nick Collison's jersey retirement because he was OKC. He was Seattle for a couple of years before they moved to OKC. So it's really about what you do in the community with the team and the amount of love you get from that org. So if Nets fans feel like Vince Carter's one of them, retire the fucking jersey. Who cares? Who cares? It's one less jersey, you know? It ain't like he on the Celtics that already got 1 million retired jerseys. Next player to get drafted him got to wear 59 now because every other jersey number's taken.
Eventually, you're just going to have to move to 3-digit numbers or have the decimals.
Decimals.
25.5.
At point guard, number 2.7. It's like, oh, hell no, this is average for the season? What the fuck is going on?
When does the Spurs retire Kawhi's jersey? Or is that relationship not at
See,
that
I feel
level?
like there can be both, right? It's fan love is one, but also accolades and success could be the other. I feel
But also,
like
I think the relationship matters too.
Yeah, but I do believe a lot of stuff get like after years and years and years, you get away from it. You don't forget, but it becomes less of a talking point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, again, the Bulls' relationship with Derrick Rose wasn't great at the end of it. And here we are, 15 years, 12 years later, he got his jersey retired.
If Marcus Smart would have won that ring with the Celtics, he probably would have got his jersey retired.
He definitely had a conversation with the DPOY NBA championship, staying there forever long.
He was 9 seasons before he got traded, so hypothetically he wins that. He was 10 seasons there. He definitely would have got his jersey retired. Miles Turner has been on the pace for 8 seasons so
He's
far.
not getting his jersey retired.
I don't think so either.
Hell,
who knows?
Does
This might be his last
Kevon Looney
season
get
now.
his jersey retired by Golden State?
Kevon Looney is a bull in the
Can you
3
imagine
weeks.
him getting? He's been in trade rumors all the time.
Who, Miles?
Yeah, he's always in trade rumors.
This is
and
the
then they-
only time where it kind of makes sense to me.
No, yeah, but But it seems like throughout his whole career he's been in trade rumors.
Yeah.
But like now they saying, do y'all think he's worth $30 million?
In this market, probably.
Given the market, I mean, his age and look at some of the other names and say, Isaiah Hartenstein got 30.
Porzingis got 30.
I think he's got one of the most acquired skill sets in the what people want in the league. He could block shots, rebound the ball, and he could shoot threes.
So like, what are they prioritizing on? Are they saying, okay, we got to pay Benedict soon?
So Tyrese got 260.
Siakam got extended. They're gonna have to pay Benedict.
TJ McConnell got extended. Not a crazy
guess,
contract, but he got extended. Obi Toppin's got extended.
I guess they also saying we also got Jarris Walker on the back end. We see a lot of potential in him.
Neesmith, I think, got his money, but it's not a lot of money.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a CBA expert, but
No.
if everybody's talking about the financial constraints of a team, I'm just going to assume that there's something. And I'm not saying Miles Turner is the answer, but because of that, this is the only year where I'm like, maybe there's a chance. Maybe.
Does it have to happen like before February 6th?
Unless you want to see him go into the open market.
Oh, so this is okay. Yeah, you're right.
I'm still stuck on this damn jersey retirement stuff. Do y'all think Booker could get his jersey retired?
Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Yes.
Depends.
so.
Still think it's pending.
Yeah.
On an
I'm not saying
accolade or
it's-
something like
yeah.
that?
He
Oh.
has to do something significant, or unless he.
I don't think he has to do
You think he's
anything.
already
If
getting
he's there,
retired?
he could be a one-teamer, honestly. Depending on what they
If
do.
he's a one-teamer, yeah.
If he's close to a one team, I would say yes.
But
it's
like
fine.
if he comes out this summer and requests a trade, and he goes spends another 10 years somewhere else, probably not.
They get their first finals appearance in what, 20 years? No. Yeah, because Steve Nash era got 0. So in 20-something years, since that, what, Chuck year?
Just Chuck, yeah.
Is that closer to 30 years? That might be closer to 30 years or 20 years.
The post I'm looking at is which current players will get their jersey retired by your team or whatever. So it's people putting like who they
Okay.
think. It's Pelican fans said Ingram and hopefully Zion, which is like,
Sorry to
I
break the
don't
news.
know.
They're just trolling.
Neither of them.
So
This article might be 2 years old.
It's a
too.
year old. It's a year old.
Anthony Davis get his jersey retired for the Pelicans,
I think he had a better chance with the Lakers, honestly.
but he was so damn good for the Pelicans.
He is an interesting case, Darrick.
Like he was dominant with the Pelicans. Like
Damn, that's an interesting case. I don't know how a normal Pelicans fan feel about Anthony Davis. You know, sometimes a player leave your team and you still love him. That's my guy. Sometimes you leave the team, you're like, fuck him. When he was a Pelican, he was the Rookie of the Year. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No,
He wasn't.
Dame
Dame
won that.
was.
Dame
yes,
won.
he
Stop
was.
playing with
Yes,
him.
my fault. He was an All-Star his second season, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-time All-Star. He finished number 3 in MVP in 2017, 2018. All-NBA first team 3 different times. DPOY runner-up and third place a couple different times. His accolades is pretty damn good without having like a trophy,
yeah,
right? He's got All-Stars. He's got all this. There's a chance.
Somebody put DeAndre Jordan.
For the Clippers?
Yeah.
So they also retired Blake Griffin.
They
too?
would
I think they would have. I think they
Yeah.
got the
And Chris
retire
Paul.
Blake
Yeah,
at that
Griffin.
and
point.
Chris Paul.
And Jamal Crawford at that point.
Yeah, definitely retire. You might as well do Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell too.
Yeah. You know, will be interesting though when they do eventually retire some jerseys to have jerseys in the rafters for the Clippers, but that player never played in that arena. So if you retire Chris Paul's jersey, it goes to the new arena and not the Staples Center where he
yeah.
actually played. I think that's just going to be interesting.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow. So it says that the Pelicans only have Bill Russell and Pistol Pete.
Everybody has Bill Russell
Everybody
retired.
has. So they really have one real jersey retired, and that's Pistol Pete.
Yeah,
When you think about who else even in conversation, Chris Paul probably
Yeah,
gets,
Chris Paul is
probably
gonna get
probably gets it.
does he want to be retired as a Pelican though?
Yeah, I think he does. Of all the stops, that's where he had the most success.
It was, but it was also the Hornets.
Same team though, just
No,
name
it
change.
is.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like if I played here as the New Orleans Hornets, I would want my jersey. I would want a New Orleans Hornets jersey in the Raptors versus the New Orleans Pelicans.
No, they will. I think they would give him the jersey he played in. But also, Derek, ain't no way in hell anybody saying no to getting their jersey retired.
yeah.
It don't matter the circumstances. You
Yeah.
could have never played for the team if the damn Bulls said, Chris Paul, we want to retire your jersey. You think he gonna be like, no? Like, sure. I don't know why. MJ was like, yeah, to the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
Wow.
Was there a ceremony for that?
I don't know.
Or they just said it one day and that was enough?
I don't even know.
Somebody
You
on
think he showed up? Because he don't show up to things.
He don't show up to shit.
who y'all
He do
talking
not be.
about?
Michael Jordan do not be outside.
Remember he showed? Did he show up to the 75th?
Yes, that was the only time.
Okay, yeah.
But it was
And I
rumored
felt-
that he wouldn't be there
I felt like he was gonna check in through Zoom or something like on the big screen.
because he wasn't at the big photo that they took.
Yeah. Did
Like,
y'all remember the aura?
Yeah.
When you got called out? I got fucking chills. And I'm not, and y'all think I'm joking? I literally got chills.
That was crazy. It was crazy to be in that arena for that.
We've been through some really cool shit, man.
Yeah.
And I try not to take it for granted. To
I
be
wish
there is
I
crazy.
wish Kyron was there because we used to be like the my team heads or whatever to see all those old guys that were like we just put on like cars or whatever. It's like
It was crazy seeing some of the dudes that's playing in an All-Star game currently
Yep.
also get called out.
AD, come outside, brother. Don't go
LeBron.
in that locker room. Bron. Who else was there?
Wasn't Chris Paul?
Dame,
Steph Curry.
Steph.
Steph Curry.
Did Russell make it?
Yes, Russell
Yes.
Westbrook was there. Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Yeah.
James Harden
Was he?
wasn't in the game, but I think he was there,
He was?
if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think James Harden was there.
Who picked these people?
Good question. I'm not even completely sure. I'm not completely sure. But they got their hands full when it gets to the NBA 100 and the 20 years from now. I was actually surprised they didn't put like Jokic or Luka there.
They were probably still too young.
Yeah, but they did with the first NBA 50. Shaq was there, and Shaq was like year 2. They were like, Shaq gonna be great. He gonna be great. And
they probably just didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was hard to project Jokic, I guess.
At that point,
Or
Jokic
he had already won MVP.
He had one, and he was on the path to get his second one.
Oh, then yeah, that is crazy.
Luka,
on the other hand,
Luka made 4 All-NBA teams in 5 years. I would have just felt good with giving him that. Sorry, Dame.
Uh-oh. D-Mills wasn't rocking with that.
You know, Dame was the last man in.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. He's still one of the 76. They gave us 76 best players.
He'll make it to the 100.
For sure. They're not cutting him.
Kyrie gonna make it probably in the top 100.
I would love for them to start cutting motherfuckers, though.
Oh, like take some of those people out?
Yeah.
Or maybe they should do it by era. Or like have it like this is the 60s through 80s. Or like, you know.
Oh, I see what
just so you
mean.
don't have to, when you take somebody off, I feel like he's kind of, in some type of way, people going to take that as like disrespect. But we could just kind of leave that in its own era.
Hey, we got to be disrespect. We're just being honest.
Yeah. Hey, you were there. You were in the top NBA 50. You lasted top
Luka
NBA
Doncic, I
for
can't
50
take
years.
you off for this dude who
How
played
about
in
you
the
guard
70s.
Luka right now and you tell me if you can stop him?
One-on-one for the spots.
Bob Cousy in his wheelchair trying to guard him. Shout out Bob Cousy. You keep your spot. The team of Omaha, they own they stuff right now. In 2003, the Miami Heat retired Michael Jordan's number 23. Oddly enough, he never played for the Miami Heat. It wasn't until 6 years later that he actually retired the jersey, and he was there.
Oh.
Michael Jordan's like, I guess I'll pull up. Damn.
I mean, it's probably just in Miami.
He
Right,
probably
he wanted
wanted
to go
he
to
also
the
probably
club
wanted to go
anyway.
golfing too.
And gambling.
Yeah.
And smoking cigars.
Yeah.
You know, other GOAT stuff.
All the GOAT stuff. Some really cool gestures by the Miami Heat. Yeah.
I guess. I wouldn't want my franchise just hanging up anybody jersey.
Yeah, and they said 6 years later they retired the actual first Miami Heat player, and it was Alonzo Mourning.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of rumors break live on the show, man. Pelicans are expected to make a big time trade.
That's it. That's the report.
Yeah,
A big time
Trade away?
yeah.
I'm assuming
Well,
trade
I'm
away
guessing
because they ain't bringing.
It's Brandon Ingram or Zion. That would have to be their big time trade, right?
So Bobby Marks says this: they have not finished a season over the tax in franchise history, and I don't think they do so this year, especially since they're in the lottery. Names like Daniel Tice, Javonte Green, and Jeremiah Robinson Earl as trade candidates to keep them lower than the tax. Pelicans.
That ain't no big trade. That's a big trade for the front office. To
keep that money.
Save a little bit of money.
It
But
says
ain't no
Brandon
big
Ingram's
trade.
future with the Pelicans continues to be in flux. Come on, bro. I thought this was something. Come on. Reported earlier this month, if another team had been motivated to offer equivalent talent for the Pels roster fit, the trades would have already been done.
Why
Did I just get clickbaited?
You might have.
Yeah.
You might have. That's still with everything,
I hate
though.
getting clickbaited.
Talking about if
Getting
the
clickbaited.
the trades was better, it would have already been done. We know that.
That's about every trade, right?
Yeah.
If the Miami Heat got everything they wanted, the trade would have been done. Man,
I wonder what they're going to end up settling for the Jimmy deal.
if I had to guess, it's expiring contracts and a draft pick. Expiring contracts, a draft pick.
They just need something at this
Are we
point.
still going to get 5 teams
Their
involved?
problem is
Yes.
they still want to compete.
Uh-huh.
So they need something solid in return.
And that's constructed. They're a playoff team.
I hate seeing 5-team trades or like 4-team trades. It get too
Convoluted,
confusing.
yeah.
And it's like,
Who, where?
yeah, it's just too
It's
much.
okay.
going
I'll
on.
see him on the court eventually.
And then it
I'll
still
see him
be
in
like
New
minutes
Jersey.
afterward, be like, such and such is now going in. It'd be like, it'd still be added pieces going on in the deal. Be like, bro, it take a full 24 hours or so for us to get the actual deal done.
Right. I saw something that you quoted, Darrick, that I thought was interesting. And it comes from our good old friend, Mr. Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, bro.
Let me find the exact quote that Kuzma put out there because I thought I was getting centelled, because it just didn't feel like a real quote.
Yeah,
And I think, was it Hoops Legion that had the actual quote? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Here it is. No, it's not. Basically, what he was saying is that he's about to go out there and start playing his own game, and he's not necessarily there to help other people develop anymore, in so many words. And it blew my damn mind.
So
You got the actual quote?
The one that I did was all indications are that Kyle Kuzma was growing less patient with the Wizards' direction. I quoted it with Dwight Schrute rolling his eyes.
I just like him locking in is getting this team another win.
I just don't even understand.
Oh, here's the actual quote. I got it. I think today I just decided to myself to not really try to fit into everything that we're doing over here. Just be more assertive, demand the ball, not just going out there and trying to let people develop. Just play my game.
It just doesn't even.
Don't
make
that
sense.
seem like a Centel
Sound
last
like some
quote?
Jordan Poole shit from last year.
I'm not here to watch other people develop. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle Kuzma. That's crazy.
I just don't even know. I think Kuzma's disconnected from reality. I just don't know who he think he is right now. I just don't know.
He wearing
He's
that
30
ring while typing that tweet
He's
out.
like 31 years old.
Yeah.
And he's not even that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's the
it's
real
not even
thing.
like he out there and he's like this all-star caliber player who just unfortunately just got stuck on a bad team. He's always just been like a premium role player.
What if that's his mentality? Just like, this team is so damn bad, I might as well get on my own stuff.
So
But why be a detriment to the team?
So the last 2 years before this year, he averaged 22 points per game. This year, he's averaging 14. He's definitely taking less shots. His usage rate is down, so his minutes are down. A lot of his stats, most of his stats are down right now. But also, they just brought in, 3 more first-round picks this year with George and Bub and Alex Sarr. When you sign an extension with a team that's actively tanking, you have to recognize that you're here to help for sure, but you're not priority as a 30-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You just have to realize that. And if I'm coach, I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you're not going to play it all.
Let you take 3 shots in a row.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he not realize that he also don't own the power of how many shots he take?
I guess we're about to see.
Because he could just, I could just sit your ass down.
Do
Like,
the Wizards even, like, you talk about when they have, like, your best player, your franchise player, usually the front office tries to communicate with them, like, we going to do these deals, we do this. Do y'all think the Wizards communicate with anybody of what they doing?
Well, yes, because they allowed him to decline the trade to go to Dallas. That he said he didn't want to go to because they weren't a contender, and then it went to the NBA Finals.
I'm saying before that, like, do you think they would go to him and be like, we're thinking about this trade? Like, what do you think? Like, there's no reason for them to do that with Kuzma and Jordan Poole. Right?
Well, they should know more, especially after last year. I don't know why the hell they gave him the option last year.
That's so crazy to me.
He's
got superstar treatment with 14 points per game.
Who is Kuzma to decline a trade? He doesn't even have a no-trade clause.
It's like kind of like,
and who is not even like
just being nice, right?
But it's also not even like one of your friends. It's not like it was John Wall,
Right.
or Bradley Beal.
Right. It's Kyle Kuzma.
It's Kyle Kuzma.
And the best thing that happened to the Dallas Mavericks is him saying no, because they got Gafford and PJ Washington right after.
They've been doing their thing.
Yeah, they've been doing their thing. So, I do want to see Kuzma on a different team.
I do too.
I've been off the Kuzma thing for some time, and I think I just kind of got tired of him in Washington. But with a different role, maybe it changes. I'm just kind of off.
Also just need him to stop talking.
Don't stop telling people to shut up and dribble, Darrick.
No.
That's really what you be saying.
Right?
I feel you, though. It's definitely this year.
He just be spewing bullshit.
You know who also be doing that? Paul George podcast is an hilarious listen. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It is a good podcast, but there are a couple times per episode where you like just be talking.
That shit
He
where
said
he
I
said,
almost teamed up with
Reggie.
Drummond and Reggie Jackson in Detroit. Cut it the fuck out.
oh, was that the same episode he was glazing Reggie
Yeah,
Jackson?
no, it's a
No,
different
that was a
episode. 'Cause this
different
episode he's glazing Drummond.
Oh,
Yeah, man. They in a good spot. They in the playoffs, and I bet you, I don't remember what the trade was, but when they traded you away, I bet you jump-started they rebuild. No, he didn't, motherfucker. He got traded for second-round picks. He didn't jumpstart nothing. But it's like, I then again, I also kind of understand it because when you have a guest, you want them to feel as comfortable as possible and open up a little more. And you kind of got to glaze them a little
what
bit
did
to
he
get
say
there.
about Chris Paul again? Like, why they was beefing? Or it was like, man, I
Oh,
stopped
'cause-
liking Chris Paul after this.
He
And
said
it was
Chris
some
Paul
petty
said
stuff.
something to him on the court.
Yeah, Chris Paul was talking shit on the court. And now he just don't fuck with Chris Paul because Chris Paul wasn't his friend while playing basketball.
And he said that even if Chris Paul like came to him and apologized, he said it is what it is.
Bro, you know, YouTube got rid of the dislike feature,
Yeah.
but if you can download extensions to see it again,
Yeah.
that video got disliked like a motherfucker.
Really?
And it's not like one like and a million dislikes, but like for an average podcast episode, it was maybe 100% more dislikes than a normal thing. Because everybody looking at it like, bro, when you're a competitor And in most cases, you can talk shit to, like me and Mike are homies.
Yeah.
We talk shit, and we're not even NBA players. We talk shit on video games. So for you to take it that personal that Chris Paul was talking shit to you on the court, it's crazy, man.
To where he wouldn't even accept an apology.
Won't even say. He said, "My fault, man. It was just heat of the moment. Hooping." Nope.
It's just hard for me to believe in Paul George's career. He's never done that where he talks shit.
Right?
But apparently he said Chris Paul
Took it to a new level.
Yeah.
What could that mean?
But I feel like Chris Paul always does that.
What could it mean?
I
I'm
feel
sure
like,
Chris
hey,
wasn't talking
on
about
some real
families.
stuff, I bet you Chris Paul is such a easy target to, and I guess in the NBA world, he could have got him right back with some crazy stuff,
For sure.
and it could have been that.
Yeah. I'm trying. What's the best comeback from Chris Paul to Paul George?
Something about that Kanye post where he was like, but that had to be the most random shit ever.
You think they're gonna talk about that in Chris Paul's Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah. We'll never know if it's true or not, though.
We'll never know. It got denied by everybody but Ye. So who knows?
And you know Kanye like to talk.
You definitely do. Yeah, man, Kuzma, we got to get you right. Let's do All-Star stuff. Because on Thursday, we find out the All-Star reserves. We found out the starters. If you did not see that episode Inside the NBA in the Eastern Conference, we have Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Karl Anthony Towns. In the Western Conference, we have Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Jokic. Now, we made it a mission ourselves to put together ballots of these reserves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious of how y'all feel because when I was doing this, it was a lot less All-Stars than I thought it was going to be.
Well,
Yeah, were you specifically talking about the East?
Eastern Conference was
Well,
dog
that's
shit.
because one, Joel's out.
Yep.
Joel's there, yeah.
He puts a big dent in it.
Yep.
Bam wouldn't be an All-Star this year.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Cat is now,
Paolo
Cat
and
is now
Franz maybe don't fit the criteria of total games played. I don't know how y'all feel about Franz. Was like on the border, I guess. I don't know how y'all feel about that. But Paolo would be a staple.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played enough games. Yeah, like you said, Joel Embiid not being there. Like a Scotty Barnes was there before, but don't really have a conversation much this year.
Jimmy
also-
Butler's usually a
Jimmy
guy you
Butler.
kind
I think
of
Scotty was an
question.
injury replacement too.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Who is y'all first guard off the bench for the Eastern Conference?
Cade Cunningham.
Kay Cunningham, I have as well.
Cade.
Kay Cunningham. He's been too fantastic.
Been amazing. He has Detroit been back to relevancy, and the jump that they took this year is just so unpredictable. Like you wouldn't have expected this team to go from 27 games losing streak last season to being a team that's legitimately in playoff contention now.
Yeah.
Like
And
that turnaround is crazy.
And they win a lot of close games. Like, they have the ability to win those closeout games with Cade. And I think as a team that had like 25 plus losses in a row, that's the ability to know I'm in a close game. We can close this out. We've been here before. I think it's a huge stepping stone, and that's credit to Cade. So definitely been an all-star this year.
How about second guard?
I got
LaMelo.
Dame Dollar.
Ooh, you got Melo as your second guard.
I got LaMelo.
Do you have Melo on your team at all?
No.
Let's fight about LaMelo. Give me what's the conversation for?
I think he's just been too good, honestly, as just like a player. I don't know. His game kind of screams all-star. Like, he's taking all the shots. He's averaging 30 when he plays. Like, and he's got all the highlight plays. If there's anybody on a lesser team that you want to be all-star, I feel like it's LaMelo.
So LaMelo is averaging 28, 7, and 5 this season, which again is insane. He was 23 last year. His first time making an All-Star, he was only at 20 points per game. It reminds me of some of the previous Trae Young years. Trae Young gave you ridiculous counting stats, but he was snubbed every season, whether it be team success or so on and so forth. I kind of feel that way. Now, granted, LaMelo's team doesn't have a lot of talent. They are 12 and 31 on the season. It was hard for me to give him a nod over some of the other guys. I'll be honest with you.
Reportedly are interested in trading for Julius Randle.
No, they're not.
They
just
trying to
came
be
out.
competitive.
From Ian Begley.
That's a reputable source. Ian Begley has been doing it for many, many years. I trust it, but why? Expiring contract fits the mold there. Kel'el Ware goes back to the bench for Julius fucking Randle.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Julius is coming off the bench.
Oh.
He's not coming into this locker room changing shit we got going on.
Hey.
Who is he?
Hey. I ain't
sorry, no.
mad at it.
No, we don't move mountains for Julius Randle. He come in and he fit in Miami. That's how we doing it over here. I don't know how they do it in Minnesota and in New York, but in Miami,
It's
he
going
know
to
how
be
to come
another
in
Jimmy
and fit in.
situation right again.
He just don't report at all. He do the same thing. He walk out.
He gonna be at Tootsie's.
He
Not a
gonna be
bad
at
place to be.
Madison Square Garden trying to see if they'll let him back in.
My second guard is also Damian Lillard. Somehow I feel like Damian Lillard's having an underrated season, man.
No, he is. He's been having a very good season, and I think he's been very efficient. I think the playmaking has taken another jump. I think he's doing a good job of just being a legit point guard next to Giannis. I think we're seeing a two-man game gel a lot more than we did last year, so he's definitely been an all-star caliber guard.
He's 25.5, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and he's shooting 54% from the field, 38% from 3 on 9 threes.
Brook
And
Lopez, do not take his rebound again, bro.
all for that triple-double?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would remind you, his 9 3-pointers a game are some of the most difficult 3-pointers you can get to, and he's shooting 38% from 3 there.
Yeah.
So I had him as an absolute lock as well. Shout out to Dame Dollar. Let's go first forward off the bench. The forwards are trash.
I have Jaylen Brown.
I got JB.
Pierre said this in the group chat. That's why I wish he was here. Jaylen Brown, as good as he is, this feels like a not so great all-star year for him.
Yeah.
Bro. He has not been nearly as good of a player he was last year or in the playoffs, whether it be offensively or defensively. It's just not that great. But who is he competing with for the spot?
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. Honestly, when you looked around, it just really wasn't much competition at that spot.
Right.
And he just happens to be there.
Yeah. It's not a bad season, don't get me
No.
wrong. But when you compare him to finals MVP, last year I thought he was incredible all season long. This year, you get some performances where I'm like legitimately scratching my head at some of the stuff that he's doing out there. Jump shot is completely falling off. But Eastern Conference 4, or I guess it's called front court. I guess he deserves to be there.
The other guy I have is Franz.
I have Emo.
So you do got Franz in there.
I have Mobley as well. Mobley is on mine as well.
Franz, let me go to his thing. He's got 28 games played. And we were trying to figure out collectively what's like the barrier, right, of like total games played. And I didn't even, did we come up with a number?
I think it was we were looking around like 30 or around
30-ish.
there.
And he's at 28. So like it's very close. Because it wasn't the 30, I didn't have him. I would easily put him in over some of the dudes that are here. But just because of the games play thing, I don't have him right now. But like if he plays, that's getting announced tonight. I wonder how they're
going
gonna
get announced Thursday. It's announced tonight.
It's Thursday.
It's one of the two. Fuck it, I don't know.
It's one of the T's.
It's one of the TNTs.
I swear it's Thursday.
It might be Thursday. Yeah, either way, it's not like he can play his way to the All-Star game with total games because the votes are already in, I would assume. He 100% deserves to be one if we're not looking at games played and stuff, but because of the games played, I didn't have it.
Thursday at 6:30.
Thursday at 6:30. There you
Eastern.
go. Eastern, there it is. Thank you, Devon. Thank you, Mike. Evan Mobley is the guy that I had as well. Evan Mobley is my second front court player. He's been incredible. Second best defensive player in the league, right behind Wemby. And the offensive jump has been incredible.
Yep.
I guess I'll just leave it at that.
It's kind of crazy to see that he was such a project coming in, and like the defensive impact was always there, and we was always like, once the offensive game come, it's gonna be scary, and then it eventually came, and it's pretty scary. Like he's very good.
I just like how they empowered him to kind of be him on offense instead of being like, you got to knock down the three. Like, no, if you got the matchup advantage, take it.
Yeah. And I love the two-man game between him and Jared Allen. I think they do a good job of playing off of each other, and they're very good passers to each other as well. Like, I didn't know they had that in their game.
Yeah, no, their 4-5 pick and roll has been cool. They're high-low, one of them at the elbow, other sitting in the dunker spot, throw it up there. It's been pretty cool as well. Feels weird. I don't have Jared Allen on my list, unfortunately.
No, he didn't make my list either.
Yeah. No.
Can't get him that many All-Stars. Come on now.
I had Mobley, and then my last front court guy didn't really feel like he deserved to be All-Star, but he made it here. Nikola Vucevic.
Wow. I tried to get him.
And honestly, it comes down to, I guess, like some of the staples we're kind of missing, but like he's probably been as most consistent as all these other All-Stars been like all season long.
Yeah.
Bulls are somewhere in the mix, so I don't really feel too bad getting him out All-Star.
It would feel weird for him to make it and not LaVine, but it's position-based, right?
Yeah, it is.
LaVine's only talked about as a guard. He can't fit in front court. My last guy, I feel very similar. He's been having a really good season, but it feels weird for him to be an All-Star. It's Pascal Siakam.
Yeah. Definitely looked at him in consideration.
Was he your front court spot or your wild card?
My last front court spot.
Okay.
He's like 20 points per game, decent efficiency. Some of the advanced stats love him as well. He's been good.
Yeah.
Maybe
If I
not
were to
all-star
make I would take out Franz and put Siakam. That makes sense.
And if I would take out Siakam, I'll put in Franz. So, all right, 2 wild card spots. How we feeling about the first one?
Tyler Hero has my first one
Same.
because I just think he's having a career year and it's translating to winning.
Yeah.
That's something that really matters to me, and I think he's really put the heat on his back, and he's done a good job at it. I didn't know there was another step to Tyler Hero's career.
Yeah.
And he's shown us that there's another step and he can do it at a high level.
Shout out to Tyler Hero, man. I also didn't see that he was going to – if he was the same player he was last year for the rest of his career, that's a very good NBA player.
Yes.
But now he is an all-star,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still taking the responsibilities as a lead guard. I would love for them to find a way to take some of that pressure off of him as a lead guard, but still he's doing a phenomenal job at that.
I mean, they brought in Terry Rozier. They tried.
Yeah, they tried for sure. But yeah, Tyler Hero's my first wild card. What about you, Mike?
I got Tyler here as well as a wild card. Y'all already kind of talked about him, so I have Dame here as too.
Oh, okay, right.
So the guard that I really wanted to put in here was Darius Garland. I feel like he really earned it this season. I feel like even as like a secondary guy who's not leading the kind of charge and point wise, like he was really a floor general this season. He's a big part of why I think they feel comfortable with like the lineups they have out there with him and Jared Allen because their pick and roll is so deadly. So like we can live with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley off the floor while we got this. Like he's been amazing at closing out games. One of the clutchest players this year.
Except for those 2 free throws against
Yeah,
the
that's
Rockets.
actually just like a 1 in a billion time chance.
What I
Like,
said in my podcast, he went from a guy that was going to finish runner-up in Clutch Player of the Year behind Jokic to not getting top 3 based on that one night. One night. He missed a couple free throws. He's out of conversations. He has to turn to fucking Kobe to get back into it. You got to hit 4 game winners in a week.
Regardless, I've
he was
been
my
super
second
impressed
wild
with him.
card.
Yeah.
I
Same.
gave it to him.
Yeah.
He's
It
a-
was tough between him and LaMelo for that last
And I
wild
just
card
think
spot.
he deserves it more than LaMelo. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Okay.
Just came out that the Sixers are a sleeper to receive Jimmy Butler.
Oh wow, bro! Every team is gonna come out that they're gonna be a sleeper.
This
for
is by
Jimmy Butler.
Yahoo.
So that's probably Jake Fisher then. So that means Paul George is in the trade. It's the only other way. You're not trading
Yeah.
Maxey, you're not trading Embiid. So it would have to be a Paul George signing that money and they getting traded in his first year would be crazy.
I don't,
It's not out of the
you
possibility.
think Paul George care as long as he got that bag,
Does he care?
especially in the Sixers? Because for the Sixers, he probably wanted to compete.
But
It just hasn't looked anything near what he probably thought it would
he
be.
also just bought like a $5 million house.
Well, you
I mean, you signed for 200
million.
M. He signed 200
The
M.
value of that house probably stood up too. But it's
True.
like, if I'm Miami, do I want Paul George? Considering how he
They
has
won't
not
See,
looked
win
amazing.
win now,
Miami's
play.
thing is they just want to get whatever in return is like
that also is a
they just don't wanna feel like a loser.
expiring contract.
That's what I'm saying.
And also, it came out they're trying to position themselves to have $80 million in cap space.
He's under contract for 4 more years. It's like,
They want to be in a Luka sweepstakes apparently,
I do too.
but apparently I don't think Luka's testing free agents.
No. There's no reason to. They built the team and he made it to the finals, right? What would be his reason to leave?
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I don't know.
It's not like his team is like win or go home or win or bust, and 2 years down the line, everybody's getting traded. This team is built to be competitive for multiple years in a row.
Yeah,
But also, somebody else said that they wanted to be in the Giannis sweepstakes, and there's no world where Giannis requests a trade either. Everybody wants star players. Go figure. All right, Western Conference first guard,
this is Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards as well.
Anthony Edwards.
I feel like the guards out west was a little bit tougher, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Anthony Edwards, give him his flowers. He's the best pull-up jump shooter in basketball right now, still giving
Such a
us performances.
Transition into his game that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Like I thought he would get better, but I didn't think he would just become a sniper,
Man, that's insane. Because it wasn't like he ever really was.
a bad shooter either.
He just never was great. It was just part of his game.
Yeah,
Even as a rookie, it was like he's this ultra athlete. His jump shot's cool, but will we ever be able to trust it? It's like one of the most trusted shots in basketball now.
Yeah.
So that's just real hard work, dedication, and he legitimately might be an alien too. For him to look at Dame and just copy Dame, release point in one offseason, and become a great shooter is insane. Usually it takes, like you think about Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin said he was practicing shooting threes for 3 years before he actually started to do it in game. Some people are just built to be able to mimic things.
and that's crazy.
Insane.
I couldn't imagine. I tried mimicking a lot of NBA players. Didn't work.
I wish PLC, he'd tell a story about Lil Will, his brother's homie, Well, before they went to the gym, he would just watch Steph Curry highlights and think that he can just do that in game because he watched Steph Curry.
I used to try to mimic Melo's Sazo.
Oh, man.
The next girl I have is Kyrie Irving.
That is the next guard I have is too. Kyrie Irving deserves to be an all-star, man. He's been amazing. I feel like
I think KB went a different route.
Did go a different route, but
you
I'm
didn't
here
go
with-
Kyrie.
I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Okay.
I think he just, especially as Luka's been out, he's been keeping the team afloat. Obviously, we know he could hit the big shots and everything like that, but to be, again, the point guard back on the team, he's been pretty damn good.
Yeah, I didn't think Kyrie, like, it seemed like what he was missing was the ability to lead the team as a lead point guard. And I think we're seeing an evolution of his game to where he can still do that. Well, he can do that now when Luka's not in the game and his team is still like a positive team. Like, this team is really good when he's on the court with Luka or without Luka.
I went Devin Booker.
Oh, okay.
Devin Booker's still 24.5 points per game, man. And it does feel weird considering they're slightly above 500.
Yeah.
They're on a nice little streak since the Nick Richards trade and everything. But I do believe that he had the start of the season where it was like, is Devin Booker still here? Like, what the hell
I didn't
going
think they
on?
was good enough to get 2 All-Stars.
That's maybe the only
kinda-
argument against
they
it.
suck.
Yeah. But I mean,
And
then
it's
again,
not like it's AD and LeBron either.
right. Because
Devin Booker could take a year. He hasn't been an All-Star every year.
they're 3 games over
Yeah.
on their 3-game win streak. So that would be the argument against Booker, right?
Yeah.
The Suns are not good enough to have 2. But Booker, going into the season, you could argue Devin Booker was a top 10 player in basketball.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant also have that argument as well. So it's not the same as AD and Bron, but it's pretty fucking close. Those are 2 players that are in again, going into the season, were in top 10 conversations. I'm not mad
I
at
don't
Kai.
think Booker was.
Before the season started, 100% Devin Booker's in top 10 conversations. 100%. I can look up every single article that had ranked players. Devin Booker will be in conversations.
No, because Anthony Edwards had leaped him. Anthony Edwards
is also in top 10. I'll get you. Give me one of the publications that does it every year.
Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated ain't wrote shit in 3 years, brother.
The Athletic.
The Athletic. Ooh, do we have The Athletic? Something that's not behind a paywall.
Oh, true. BR.
Okay. Did Blear do it this year? For top, what do they do? Top 100 players usually?
Yeah.
They got top 100 all
Off
time.
top, I feel like he's around. He might be. It's either that or I feel like he's around like 13, 14.
Because based off last season, the season that Anthony Edwards had, he had leaped D-Book and was like the dude that everybody was talking about as like top 10, and which means he had just crept in.
Ringer, top.
It's like 8
So
guys
Devin
off top
Booker-
that I already know.
The top 10 conversations is usually like the top
I mean,
17 players.
17?
No, you definitely
okay,
add
top 15.
I
No,
say
you
probably like
losing
top
it.
13,
No,
top
not
12.
top 15
Okay,
either.
give
It's
me-
usually like top
How
12
many players
to 11.
how many players can you say are top 10 conversations? I think it is like 15 guys.
No, once you get into that 15 range, you're not top 10.
You're in conversations for
No,
it.
you're
If
not.
if you told me who's the guy around
There's
there?
a gap
A guy
between
around
the,
that fit. Donovan Mitchell literally came out and said, I think I'm around 13, 15. Like, and I feel like that's really good for Donovan Mitchell.
But you could make the argument that Donovan Mitchell is a top. When I think about the way we rank players, it's a range, right? Jokic is number 1. Giannis is 2 or 3. Luka can be 2 or 3.
Shea.
Anthony Davis can be 5 through 11, depending on who's asking, right?
Yeah.
That's how I look about Devin Booker. Devin Booker could be between 9 and 13 or 14 going into
think
the
so?
season. I'm one.
9?
I ain't
Yes.
mad at the
I
argument. I just think it's funny how you definitely be going like that one extra number. Like,
Yeah,
you space it out a little bit
I'm
more.
just not. I don't
Before
think
the
that-
season started, the Ringer had Devin Booker at 12. That's top 10
That's not about
conversation.
right.
I can't look at I can only look at Devin Booker's
I
timeline,
was
so I'm
going
not
to say,
sure.
because the people
But
above
12
him are
is-
probably definite 10.
But 12 is in the conversation.
It depends.
If you're 2 off, you're in the conversation.
You in the conversation, but you're looking at number 10 and
still
you're
outside
not.
the club. Like you almost
Okay.
got in.
Let
but
me
you
see. Let me
outside
see.
the
Let me see if
club.
I can find out who was number 11. Jaylen Brown was 14, so he was behind Devin Booker. LeBron was number 10 going into the season.
I mean, the age is a thing, but it's a gap right there for like top 10.
So I'm guessing LeBron, AD, KD, Steph,
Anthony Edwards was number 8.
Damn.
Anthony Edwards. He had a crazy playoff run. So it makes sense that he was.
Them
top.
playoff runs got to have your
Anthony
your
Davis is
rankings.
number 9.
Okay.
So Devin Booker is in that group of AD, Bron. Anthony Edwards was a spot before them. And I got to figure out who was in between them guys.
Probably Tatum. Tatum's top 10.
No, Tatum was in top 5 going into the season, I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he was number 5. Yeah. Luka. I got to figure who dropped there.
LeBron.
No. Who was at 11 going into the season?
Oh.
Could have been like Jimmy or something like that.
Maybe.
Nah, I doubt it. Jimmy didn't do shit last year.
I don't know who the hell was listed at number 11. I'm still going. Whoever it is had to fall the fuck off because I'm at number 25 and I still haven't seen number 11.
Was it Paul George?
No
No
can't
way.
be, right?
Wait, because you're looking at the winner coming into the season, right?
Yeah.
Because it tells you where they were
Right.
they were.
It tell you the full timeline.
Yes.
So like Chet was 40, then he was 41, then he was 30, so I'm looking for I don't know. Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
It clicked. The
Yeah,
same
it clicked. We both clicked exactly because it's not here. We both just thought about it for a second. Joel Embiid was that. Where do they have Joel Embiid now? He's at 41 now.
Oh, damn.
Sheesh. No, going to the season, he was number 5. So where the fuck is number 11?
Who else could?
Huh? Steph was he was top 6. Dude.
This is gonna drive you crazy.
It
to
will
figure
drive
out-
me crazy.
Yeah.
Either way, back to the All-Star conversation. I think the only argument against Devin Booker is that the Suns are good enough to have 2.
Yeah.
That's the only
That's the only argument I
because
got.
everything else he's been pretty damn good after his slow start for sure.
I can go with my first front court guy.
Who is number 11, bro? I am gonna go crazy. Go with first front court guy.
Triple J. We were just talking about the amazing season he's had, being the best player for the Grizzlies and all that. But to me, it's the scoring that he's been doing this year on top of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
If Grizzlies are gonna have one, I think it's gonna be him.
My first guy was J-Dub.
Wow. Okay.
I'm still a little surprised, but hey, I knew somebody was gonna have J-Dub.
J-Dub's been having a very good season.
Yes, he has.
And I think what he's been doing for the OKC has been unappreciated because I think they've kind of gone a stretch without centers. He's guarded centers. He's comfortable guarding on the perimeter. If he has to guard the other team's best guard, he gives you great shooting on great efficiency. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's good without. Like J-Dub does a lot on the basketball court that I think gets overlooked.
No, I definitely feel that. It'd be stretches too when like Shea, he's kind of like chilling for the moment, and he'll let J-Dub kind of rock out. And J-Dub will have 10, 12 points in the quarter. Like he can
Jalen
still
Brunson
really
was
get
11?
hot.
Okay. Behind it saying that Jalen Brunson was 11. What date is on the Jalen Brunson one? Okay. So he's saying June 20th, which is postseason.
Yeah.
That's after finals.
Yes.
Or during finals. That's when Jalen Brunson was there. 2 weeks before the season started, Jalen Brunson was 12. There we go. Okay. Because I damn sure was about to keep looking until I found number 11.
It was JB.
The past one as well. Right. Shout out to the Ringer, man. My first front court player off the bench was Jaren as well. I mean, there's no real order to it.
Yeah.
But since you already mentioned Jaren, we gave him a lot of flowers earlier. I'll leave it at that. Second guy.
This was Anthony Davis.
Okay. AD is on my list.
This
as well.
isn't like
Anthony
in the order
Davis.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's same. There's no real order. There's no real order. We're not ranking them. They're all
this
there.
isn't a ranking.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, been phenomenal. I didn't get to watch the highlights even of his 40-20 game from last night, unfortunately, but I'm sure it was phenomenal. He is still one of the best defensive players in basketball.
Offensively, it's looking good this season.
Yeah, he had that one stretch where it was really bad again. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah,
After
it
he
was.
started off
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah,
It was like a week or something where he was getting like 15 points.
Yeah.
It was just like something like
they
that.
gas him out early in the season. It seemed like he's back. Wimby
yes, and then
is the
Dude, I
last-
couldn't leave off the list.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Matter
he
of
wasn't
fact,
the
if
first name
anybody
mentioned.
don't got him up here, we're gonna have to take a step outside.
Yeah,
No, Vic was on the list for sure.
100% on the list. There's no
No
argument.
way to
against it.
even.
Bro, do you remember a long time ago we always used to laugh at the fact that somebody was like, "Man, I'll try to slap box bowl or whatever."
Yeah.
Imagine trying to slap box
Does
women.
Vic play for the U.S. or the World team?
What do you mean?
For the
Oh, is that the way they're doing it?
isn't there like World? Isn't there like
Pierre read it out to us yesterday. It went through one ear and out the other. I have no idea what the fuck is happening. I have no idea. I just know there's 3 teams and one team of young players. That's all I know.
Oh, that's the Rising Stars game, right?
Yeah.
Where it's World versus. Oh, but are they doing the Rising Stars game still?
Rising Star game exists.
Okay.
I don't know the format.
Okay.
There was years, of course, where it was World versus U.S. That's when we had the Luka Doncic, Trae Young moment. I remember that.
But Vic If he in the All-Star game, I don't think he's gonna do the world. Like he wouldn't do that one.
You want to do both?
You don't think so?
I mean, if he really wanted to, but
They
I
might
feel like,
push him to do it to try to make the Rising Stars game interesting.
Yeah.
It's probably up to him whether or not he wants to do it because there's no accolade for it. It's just like, hey,
How
here.
exactly do the NBA push you to do that? Like, do they just
They
ask you?
ask you.
They don't
Yeah,
pay
just
you.
straight
They
up
don't-
ask
I
you.
was like, do they throw you some money?
Maybe, yeah. They probably pay him a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure. I wonder if everybody gets paid. I would assume everybody get paid, right? NBA All-Stars get paid extra for making the All-Star game. So maybe Rising Stars players do too. Maybe dunk contest participants do as well.
That's why Jaylen Brown did it. You needed a little extra cash.
Just a little bit. Modest Buzelis. 11th overall pick cash ain't as great as All-Star.
And JB had him. He was dating old girl, the former W player.
Oh, Kais?
yeah.
I never know how to pronounce
He
it. But
needed a little extra bag for a few extra days.
yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to Coco Jones too. So they are incentivized. So behind the scenes, they're saying that they are incentivized for MVP gets a bonus as well. Okay. All right. Let's go wild card spots.
First guy I had
This
is
is
a
where I had
bonus.
Jaren, but it just wasn't in order. I don't want nobody to think I was
For sure.
snubbing him.
I got Sabonis as a lock for the wild card
Yeah,
as well.
I had Jaren and Sabonis.
Okay. I had Sabonis and J-Dub.
Oh,
So those are my two spots.
okay. So
I had
J-Dub made it.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I had Sabonis, and I gotta put my boy here, James Harden.
Wow. So
Making
it's
it-
James Harden over Devin Booker. James Harden over who else? J-Dub.
Sabonis
J-Dub.
and J-Dub.
No, he has
So
Sabonis.
I had
Oh, you have
Sabonis.
Sabonis?
It was Sabonis and James Harden on my wild card spots. I just think it's immaculate for him if he was able to make it All-Star game this late in his career, especially after the storylines of Kawhi not being there to start the season and how the Clippers were going to be, just to kind of fall off we've seen from the 37-point. Like, James Harden had a lot of stuff going on in his career up and down, but, like, for it to be at this point and he's carrying a team and showing that he is still the system, I had to give him a nod.
He had that little 40 ball the other night,
I
too.
was just about to say,
Who was that
40
against?
ball the other night. I think it's still so funny watching him create his own shot. Like, the athleticism isn't there, but somehow or another he still manages to make it effective.
He's got one of the most stronger upper bodies. He be barely flicking his wrist or whatever, and it's just he's taking a step back from 32 feet out, and it's just hitting all. It's strong on it. It's just you got to be overly strong to be doing that.
I'm trying to see which game that was where he had a little 40 ball.
It was-
that was against the Bucks.
Yeah.
40 ball against the Bucks, man. Sheesh. Yeah, I'm not mad at James being there at all. I don't think anything we said today was crazy.
No.
Sorry, De'Aaron. Couldn't
Yeah.
get De'Aaron in. That
Couldn't
was a
get
tough
him in there.
omission. For me, again, Kyrie Irving is a tough omission.
For real?
Yeah.
That was real quick. One of them names they were talking about being retired, their jersey retired. It was De'Aaron Fox.
If he
Sacramento?
stays, yeah. I mean, if he stays,
All them conversations.
he damn near their fourth best player in history.
Yeah.
You think about it.
Yeah.
Why not retire?
It's really Big O.
Boogie,
rapper.
are you gonna put Boogie in now?
Hell no. De'Aaron Fox's tenure as a king is so
So
much
you
better
talking
than Boogie's.
about, or not just De'Aaron Fox? Boogie deserves some love in that Kings history.
Sure, he's just not higher than De'Aaron.
That's fair.
He could be right under him. Probably but he just can't be higher than De'Aaron. Who am I forgetting about
Chris
in Kings
Webber.
history? C-Webb, good call.
C-Webb.
C-Webb is definitely one of them ones. And Jerry Lucas, that's what I'm thinking about. Jerry
Yeah.
Lucas, 100%.
Jason Williams gonna stay up there.
Shout out to him. He's not in this real conversation.
Mike Bibby.
Bibby is in there. He's definitely not in this conversation. Shout out to Bibby. Swole ass.
We're forgetting about the
He'll
shooting
punch
guard.
a hole in
We
your
didn't mention the
chest.
shooting guard from the 90s,
Mitch Richmond?
Mitch Richmond.
De'Aaron Fox.
Surprised you know about Mitch Richmond.
Uh-oh.
I
He
saw-
tested your ball knowledge.
I saw him going toe-to-toe with Jordan a few times.
He was the
Toe-to-toe?
Jordan of the West. Ball head 23. He was trying to give you buckets.
No, we mentioned Big O. That's our All-Star reserves, man. You let us know in the comment section who you agree or disagree with. It wasn't as hard as last year. There was 3 to 4 players. It's damn, I
Yeah.
wish he was in here. Last year, I felt like there was 8 players. I'm like, man, I need to get
That's
him
because
in
we
here.
had a lot more people healthy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, injuries definitely made it.
Also, none of us mentioned Trae Young out east. Was that tough? A tough
It was.
knock?
I thought about him, but I think it's okay.
I just think DG just deserves his All-Star nod. I'm all in on the DG movement.
Okay.
I'm here to get him his All-Star nod, bro.
Okay.
He's having too good of a season for it to go underappreciated.
I can feel that. I can feel that for sure. I think it does suck that the Atlanta Hawks have fallen quite a bit since 2025 has started. If they were still as good as they were last month, I think he has a real conversation. His streak just ended. Do y'all remember Trae Young's 5 assists per game streak?
Really?
For like,
It ended?
who was that against? Not the Jazz. He had a crazy streak. It might have been 400 games with at least, I might be saucing a little bit, of having at least 5 assists, and then he got 4 the other night.
That's tough.
Damn.
You gotta be like LeBron. LeBron will literally check into that game no matter what to get that.
But
10 points.
you can't force your teammates to hit shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could pull it around though. You can have a layup and pass it out.
Or tell the other team, I'm already down by 20. Can I get this extra assist?
Just let me grab my badges, man.
That's crazy. Let me grab my badges.
Let me
This is
grab my
crazy. I'm trying to remember what game that was. I guess I got to look at his game log.
Yeah, I just looked. The one against the Pistons not too long. He had 9, so that wasn't it.
Let me see.
I couldn't. Being able to get 5 assists in a game for that long.
Remember,
It's impressive, right?
Remember,
It was against the Raptors, by the way.
Steph lost his one where he had like consecutive games where he had a 3-point make, and it was some crazy ass number.
And now who has it? Somebody has it. Somebody random as hell that got some crazy 3-point stats.
Where they now have the streak for most games with a 3?
No, I mean, they got a streak in their career, not like a Steph Curry
Oh.
streak. But it's like, I remember it's like, this is his 112th game with at least 1 3. I'm like, him? 100 who was
The
that?
the one stat that drives my or like blows my mind is the Mikal Bridges one where it's like he's played
in 400
like,
some games consecutively.
I think it's way more than 400.
Yeah, he played an extra game. He got an 83 game season the year he got traded.
I couldn't even imagine.
521.
His offseason has to strictly just be him relaxing, right?
He's a Call of Duty guy, so maybe.
Yeah.
Like he has to take a big step
That mean
away.
you weren't. You ain't no chance you sick one day or something like that. You got a twisted ankle, like a roll ankle.
Especially like this is the time of year where the NBA flu is going around. Or I guess sports flu, because even Malach from college, he just threw up on the court last night.
Yeah,
He just straight up just threw up.
Mhm.
Everybody's getting sick. And now Mikal got the greatest immune system, the greatest extreme. That's why he don't put on no muscle, because it's working. No need to have no muscle if I'm not getting injured.
It's just crazy. I just think about it, like he got to love the off season. Like
He got it that break.
He probably had, like when Anthony Davis say he probably don't touch a basketball for until the last 4 to 5 weeks before the season starts. Mikal probably should do it. I wouldn't be mad at Mikal for doing that.
You remember
You
they
gotta
was
go back,
flaming him
though.
for that?
Anthony Davis said
said
that
what?
he
He
don't touch the
flashback?
basketball for
Yeah.
the last like 5-6
Because
weeks.
y'all lost in like the first round, and people on Twitter was like, and look, AD don't even care about basketball. He playing GTA RP instead of playing in
And
the
that, he
offseason.
was also saying that like usually during that time he's not working, like that's where he focuses on
With
his
his body,
body.
Yeah.
People don't care about that. They want to talk shit.
they gonna point out the wrong stuff.
I'm trying to figure out what that Trae Young streak was. That's why I'm sitting here on my phone. But I cannot for the life of me find out how long that streak was. And it's
5
bothering the hell
assists
out
is
of me.
actually pretty impressive though too. If that was the stat,
Yeah. But no, it definitely was 5 assists. I'm trying to figure
how
out
long ago?
how long the streak lasted. Because it was an obscure, insane number. Trae Young assist streak. Because I remember reading it in a Substack the other day. 202 games.
No,
Damn.
5 plus assists. That's over 1,000 assists right there.
202 games, man.
Can he break the all-time assist record?
No. Hell
No.
no. John Stockton like 3,000 above Chris Paul.
That's because they would chain for him.
I actually was watching some Utah Jazz of the 90s. They weren't cheated for him, but he wasn't doing shit.
He
Like-
was just handing it off.
Yeah, like sometimes you see an assist from a player, and of course they passed the ball. They didn't create nothing.
Yeah.
The other person did the thing. Karl Malone did all of the work.
Yeah.
They gave him an
Dub
extra
down.
couple seconds.
Dub down. Like, not taking away from John Stockton as a player, but like, fuck. For him to be the all-time leading scorer on that, or all-time leading assist guy on that.
Right now, Trae Young is at basically 4,400, which is ranks him like 100. It said ranks him 101st, but he's averaging like 10 assists over his career.
Yeah.
So it's like he's gonna get up there. He's gonna be one of the probably top guys.
So by the time he's 35, he's gonna be definitely top 5.
You think so?
All it takes is a few deep playoff runs. You know, the playoff runs help them stats.
Bogdan Bogdanovic, 3-point streak. How many games?
I'm gonna go 164.
Oh, damn. He sucked at the beginning of the year.
I thought you just meant over his career.
No,
Like, he
straight
had a
straight
streak.
games with at least 1 3-pointer.
He's currently on the streak.
He's currently on the streak.
15.
Oh.
15.
15.
11.
110.
Oh.
Even when he was being bad, he
He at
still,
least hit one a game off the
wow.
bench for 110 games.
Because I remember he was stinky the beginning of the year, bro.
At
I-
least he
I'ma
was hitting
make
that
me
one.
one.
He was
I'ma
hitting that
make me
1-3.
I bet he's aware of the streak too. He might go 1 for 12, but damn it, streak alive, baby. The streak is alive. Yeah, I love random
Nah,
tidbits
it's
like that.
it's
I'd
got to
pay
be a
for
player with
Substack
like
for that.
consecutive games with a steal or something like that.
Mm.
Because steals is so random.
Yeah.
And it's like so hard to naturally count.
Are they
on.
gonna credit you for a steal or a block sometimes if you strip the ball? You never really know. Never really know.
I would imagine probably a guy like Gary Payton probably holds the streak for that.
Most
Or-
games consecutively with a steal.
Or
Most
Allen
games
Iverson, maybe a Drew.
consecutively.
Oh,
the
I feel like it's gonna be.
maybe AK-47.
Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like it would be more of an underrated guy than like a superstar.
So that's your guy. Any other guys come to mind? I see the guy who it is. Any other names come to mind? This guy did it 108 games in a row with at least one steal.
Damn.
Crazy.
Is it an old head?
Chris Paul.
Chris fucking Paul,
Oh,
baby?
man.
He is the all-time. Isn't he all-time steals leader?
No, he's up there though. He's up there.
That's so crazy.
I thought he was.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If I was in the NBA and like I could have one of them accolades, steals is one of them things that's like I wish my name was on that top board, bro.
Yeah.
It's such a cool stat.
It is crazy that LeBron's gonna end up top 10 in like so many of these categories.
He's like in most major
Chris Paul's
categories.
third.
third.
Who's first?
John fucking Stockton, bro.
Damn, they kept cheating for that
Oh,
dude.
they cheated, bro. How he got 1,000 more steals than everybody? Come on,
Chris
bro.
Paul gonna have to give us another 5 years.
He got it.
Who number 2?
Jason Kidd, baby.
Oh.
Chris Paul is 13 steals away from number 2, though.
Oh,
That's
bad,
actually
bad, bad.
really. Yeah.
So he probably gonna
He
clear
gonna
that
be
this
number
season.
2.
Sure.
Better than the season.
Yeah.
Unless Kidd come out of retirement.
It's possible. They need bodies over there in Dallas, don't they?
Y'all remember when?
You think he practices with them?
Good question. I don't know.
Y'all remember when? Who was it? Ray Allen he went out to the game to watch Steph Curry beat his record.
Yeah.
I know he was watching that ball go through that net a little salty. Like, damn, I ain't
No,
getting that shit
You know,
back.
No,
Ray
he was
Ray
probably
always
happy.
was very cool. The one I thought would have been salty is Reggie.
I think it
But
might
then
have
Reggie
been
been
Reggie.
cool.
Wasn't
too.
Reggie on the call?
Reggie
I
was
think
on
he
the call.
literally. I
Yeah.
might be thinking about Reggie. What record was that?
No, because Reggie was what, third? Or was he fourth all time? So Steph Curry did him like he broke their records pretty close to each other.
Yeah,
Ray Allen 100% was there when Steph Curry.
I remember
broke
Ray
it.
Allen being
Is
there.
that in the Garden?
I don't remember.
But I do remember Reggie Miller either being on the call or like he was there to witness that like the record break too.
Let me see. Record.
It might have been.
Never
Someone's telling
forget
me
when they said
someone's
Will
telling me
Barton.
he came up short in the game previous, and then the next game was in New York, and it seemed like
Oh yeah.
it was like the perfect stage to do
Right,
it.
right.
Never forget when they said Will Barton was the all-time 3-point make leader for the Nuggets.
Yeah. You know who's number 1 for the Timberwolves now, right?
Nah.
And yeah.
Anthony Edwards is
Really?
number 1. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Cat
only
was
a
there
few
for
years
9
in.
years,
Yeah,
and Anthony Edwards broke his record in 4.
that sounds so crazy.
Isn't that
Because
crazy?
Cat was such a good shooter. From it's
Yeah.
like the moment he came into the league, he was known as a shooter.
Yep. Before we get out of here, let's do some NBA mock draft stuff.
Okay,
I'm gonna read y'all a mock draft. I'm not asking y'all to,
okay. 'Cause
Get
I
in too
definitely
much.
didn't have my college.
but this is like the gear to you to get into some, because we almost at the time, believe it or not. So we gotta get the March Madness is happening in a little bit. Number 1 overall pick, the Washington Wizards select
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
I thought you were
I
going
know.
to read.
I
it.
just thought number 1 would have been
Cooper,
the one that y'all
yeah.
jumped in on.
Mr. Flag.
The pro comp that this is Bleach Report, by the way. Pro comp for Bleach Report.
Kuzma not getting out there. He's not getting out of Cooper Flag way, by the way. This is Kuzma's team.
This is Kuzma's team. He's not helping Cooper Flag develop at all. They got AK-47 defensively and Jalen Johnson offensively.
Oh wow.
Number 2 overall pick, Utah Jazz select Dylan Harper.
Mm.
His comps, Kobe White and a bigger Jalen Brunson.
Mm.
Left-handed. You know, they got to
Okay,
give you a
yeah.
left-handed.
I'm sorry. Who you said was the team was?
Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
Number
We don't
3.
want him to go Utah.
Same. I ain't want to say it.
Nobody want to go Utah.
Number 3, the Pelicans take Ace Bailey, comps, Brandon Miller, Michael Porter Jr., Rashard Lewis.
Oh.
Get you a bucket, young fella. Can't
Love it.
pass.
Yeah.
Defensively got a lot to be desired, but he be giving you flashes. Brother can score for the best of them.
Yeah.
4th overall pick. This is surprising to me. VJ Edgecombe jumps up to number 4. Pro comps, Wiggins, Iman Shumpert.
Wiggins. Okay.
Just can't shoot.
Yeah.
Just pro athlete. Number 5, Illinois' very own Jeremiah Fears.
Hey.
He's from, I think, Joliet.
Okay.
His pro comps, Jaden Ivey and Russell Westbrook.
Wow.
That's such a
I
wide
wish,
range,
hey,
by the way.
if I had a comp coming
You want
into
a Brody comp, right?
I want Russell Westbrook.
I get it. They're both very ultra athletic.
Christian
guards.
is behind the camera. He's our college basketball guy, too. You don't see the comps? He said the Westbrook one doesn't make any sense, y'all. We need to give both of y'all a microphone for when Austin gives us, like, when he Googles something or we bring some college basketball in. Yeah, he used to have one.
Yeah.
Christian is also on Teed Up with Pierre.
Yes, he
So
is.
go watch that. Actually, with Pierre being sick, y'all already filmed that episode, right? The newest episode of Teed Up. That's the interview. Okay. Well, another new episode of Teed Up coming very, very soon. 6th overall pick, Kasparas Yakajonas.
From Illinois.
Yep. Pro comp Chauncey Billups.
That was.
I
random.
like that comp.
I actually wasn't expecting that.
I didn't expect that either. 7th overall pick, the Portland Trail Blazers get another guard, Darrick. It's Trey Johnson from Texas. Pro
Okay.
comp, Allen Houston.
So that means Anthony Simons is out the door.
I watched I read an article about Trey Johnson, and he is the only projected lottery pick with a negative net rating. So take that for what you want. Advanced stats nerds. Does it matter? Who knows?
Is he on a bad team though?
How good would you say Texas is this year? They say he's basically like Cam Thomas. He's a creator. Allen Houston is a good comp there for that there, but he's
Okay.
6'6", so that's probably why you got him.
Yeah.
8th overall pick, Asa Newell. J-Dub just reposted him, and this is OKC's pick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some little cohesion.
Is this OKC's pick from who?
76ers.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
they finna have Nikola Topic and dude.
Yeah. His pro comps are Bobby Portis, Jalen Smith, and Marvin Bagley Jr.
Well, the
Oh,
Sixers, OKC could potentially bring in like 4 or 5 first-round picks.
They
this
sure
year.
can, yeah. It's insane. The Bulls at number 9. We give him a lotch, big fella from Duke.
We keep the pick.
We keep the pick, baby.
That's about where the Bulls usually end up.
Yeah, number 7 through 9. That's where they always are. I really like him as a prospect, too. They got his pro comp as Derek Lively.
I like that. Do you know the city love a blue-collar worker like
I don't
that?
know if he has a shooting upside of Derek Lively, but maybe I just haven't tuned in.
You worry
enough.
about that later though.
Good call. Number 10 overall pick is Ben Seraph. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Pro comp. He's going to the Spurs. Pro comp is Manu Ginobili.
Wow.
Hey,
Fuck out of here.
So they
Coincidentally, the
Yeah.
Spurs get the Manu guy.
that's a Spurs type of thing.
Yeah. I think he's left-handed too, so of course. I'm only going to go into the lottery, by the way. 11th overall pick. The Spurs get this one as well because the last pick was via Atlanta. Does that make sense? I have no idea. They don't tell me here.
Was it part of the DeJounte?
Maybe. 11th overall pick is Colin Murray Boyles. This guy's pro comp is Julius Randle. I really do see Julius Randle when I watch him hoop. He is 6'7", more back to the basket than anything, so maybe that doesn't translate well. But he's got some good passing vision. I like him as a prospect a lot. 12th overall pick, the Golden State Warriors take Nolan Traore from France. His pro comp is Lonzo Ball, but like young Lonzo because he can't fucking shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 more lottery picks. The Atlanta Hawks via the Kings get Concanooble out of Duke. The Atlanta Hawks get a guy who pro comp is Kevin Huerter.
Haven't heard her.
Just replace him 3 years later. Last lottery pick, the Dallas Mavericks. Damn, the Mavericks are in the lottery, huh? Because they're a playing team right now with all the injuries.
Oh.
Oh yeah, true.
That's insane to think about. Yeah, they're the 9th seed right now. Tough.
They should bring in Derek Queen.
Instead, they're going to get Liam McNeely from UConn, who pro comp is Keegan Murray.
Okay.
Derek Queen. Yeah, where's our boy Derek Queen end up going? Sheesh, I'm still
He
going.
better be in that first round.
18th
Okay.
to the
So
Rockets.
basically right outside
The
the lottery.
Rockets?
To the Rockets.
That'd be
Oh.
kind of cool for them too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steven Adams.
Yeah, sorry. They got Thomas Sobert here going to the Orlando Magic. I want Orlando Magic to go get somebody that can fucking score the ball. But I wish Pierre was here to give his input about the draft as well. But I'm very intrigued by this draft. And maybe that's just because I'm finally caring about college basketball. That like I'm watching, like, oh, that dude might be an NBA prospect. The guy Pierre likes the most, Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph, is projected to go 24th to the Orlando Magic. But we'll see. Do we do Unplugged without Pierre here?
I'd be down.
Yeah, if y'all
What y'all
want
got
to.
on your mind?
What I got on my mind?
I thought I wrote something down. That I
Oh,
noticed.
man, if Mike got segments, we here for it. I feel like a lot of the stuff that's on my mind is not podcast material.
Okay.
And that sounds kind of freaky,
Mhm.
but it's not, I promise.
I had wrote this down because I think it was basically like, what's the most underrated part of like just high school kind of days you remember?
Mhm.
Because I was thinking about a lot of this basketball stuff. I remember just like you going to school next day, and it's not the same it is now, but it's just like I'm talking to KB about his Bulls, or he talking about the late, just something of that, and it's like
Like, turned it to a job.
yeah, like that's what I think about when it's like, you know how you feel different when your team's winning, like you just feel a better mood, like.
Mhm.
Going to school after your team just lost or something like that, it's just like, damn, now I got to go in here at the
Sure.
lunch table. They finna tell me
Here,
what's wrong
yeah,
about my
make some
team and stuff
bullshit.
like that. It's just like, I miss those type of moments as like being a fan.
I think number one for me, the thing I took the most for granted in high school
Yeah.
was waking up every morning feeling refreshed.
Mm.
It didn't matter if I got 6 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. It didn't matter what I ate the previous night. I always woke up like, let's get ready for the day. Now, if I eat the wrong thing the night before, the next morning I'm sluggish. If I don't get my 8 hours of good sleep, I'm like, don't get older, y'all.
I don't know.
And I'm like, we're not even old.
When I was in high
We're
school,
damn near in our prime
This is
years.
supposed to be our prime.
I still hated waking up early in high school.
I was
Really?
to say, my mom used to pour water on me.
Damn.
Yeah, my mom used to pour water on me
She
too.
on some Rochelle shit.
Yeah.
If I didn't wake up, my mom would pour water on me too.
I've
'Cause
never been that type. When my alarm goes off, even now, I hop out of bed. I just do it slower now.
I just hit that snooze button.
See, I've never hit snooze in my life.
Yeah.
I never hit snooze in my life. But back in high school, like used to not eat lunch and then just go hoop for 7 hours
I
straight.
definitely was not skipping lunch.
Bro,
I used to be hungry as hell about lunch
For real?
because I didn't really eat breakfast.
Right.
So like with me not really eating breakfast, I kind of had to eat lunch.
I ain't
having
eating nothing.
You didn't eat
having to go
either?
to class after you just got done with lunch.
Right, yeah.
You eat lunch, but it's also 10:30 in the morning.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you got that fourth period lunch
You
for
eating a
whatever reason.
hamburger.
I used to like having. I had to have fourth period lunch because I had TCD.
Right, right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to have fourth period lunch.
Did you like it earlier?
No, I would have much rather had like fifth or sixth period lunch.
I used to
Then
remember
by the time I got home after having the fourth period lunch, I was starving.
what I would do for lunch is either get a bag of Flamin' Hots or that big ass cookie.
Mm.
I
Every
used to
day
get that
was my
pasta
lunch.
bowl.
And
That
that's,
possible was a hit.
I wonder how much of that contribute to me having all of the issues I have now. For
Probably.
4 years of my life, I had a lunch that was a bag of hot flamings or a cookie. For 4 straight years.
There
Yeah.
was some good cookies though. They
Them
used to be the
cookies was
big
so
cookie.
fire, bro.
It used to be like just the one big cookie.
Yeah, for $1.
And then they changed it up and they started
The
having
4
doing like the
small
little
cookies?
four
Yeah.
like the little 4-packs.
That one big cookie had the right crispiness on the edges
did,
too.
it did, but it was
I would
still a
go
little
back and eat that
soft.
cookie right now.
Oh, bro, and then you remember the nachos?
The nacho stand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
had
never
the
got it.
nachos
No,
thing.
the nachos at COD was elite. I don't know if y'all ever had them.
remember
I
They
just
were
had
really
Chick-fil-A
good.
at COD
I
every
had
day.
Chick-fil-A or Subway.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had that
Subway
little
too.
pizza place that I used to go to sometimes too. Or I would just get in my car and go to Portillo's. Portillo's is down the street.
It was down the street. And he had a Chick-fil-A right across from there, right?
Yeah.
When I was on campus in college, I never left until my classes was over. So whatever, if I was hungry, I had to go to the cafe.
Sometimes I would have like an hour and a half break.
Right, you did have your schedule like that, right?
Yeah, that time that you had waited like 6 hours and then found out your class got canceled.
That's the stuff that only happened to you, by the way. Your whole day of school to have 0 classes is crazy.
Well,
Bro,
I
I
was
was
the only
talking.
one.
Yeah, you weren't the only one.
I was
for
talking
sure.
to my stream about this because they were kind of like talking about their schedules, and I was saying that like my first year at COD, you just feel like you need to do shit. So I had Monday through Friday. I'm here 8 to 3. Like I don't know why I did that. Like my second year or my second semester, whatever. It was just like Monday through Thursday, shorten the classes. I'm not there on Fridays. Like you just figure it out. Once you like do that first one.
I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I didn't go to class.
Yeah.
And that was like the smartest thing I could have done.
Yeah.
Like really, just having those 2 extra
I don't
days.
know
Some
why
of those
the
days I
hell.
picked up shifts. So you like working and being a student at the same time.
Yeah.
But one thing I do regret is not ever going away for college. I feel
Yeah.
like that's an experience a lot of
Yeah.
people should have. Obviously, it's not made for everybody, right? Because honestly, if one of us went away, this show wouldn't exist when you think
Yeah.
about it. But I would have loved to go on campus somewhere, just to live alone and
Experience the parties.
campus life, parties, drugs.
Do you think you would have still made YouTube videos?
No, because I was like ashamed of it in a way. It's just because it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It was a very long time before I showed my face.
You know what's
on
crazy
YouTube.
too?
Or went by my real name.
I was at my sister's birthday party and it was a Naruto themed like party.
Your sister did a Naruto themed
Yeah.
party? That's fucking
Matter of fact, let me show you a picture.
That is so cool, bro. Because she's, what, 8 now?
Yeah.
That's
and
so
what,
dope, man.
What had surprised me is that, like, obviously she had, like, these little things you could take pictures with, but it's just, like, Kakashi's here. It's, like, Sasuke's here. And there's, like, one of her friends is right there, and he's like, oh, that's his hair. That's his hair. That's his hair. And it's, like, back in the day, kids didn't really talk anime because it just wasn't really viewed as cool.
Nobody...
But, like,
you would used to have to be a closeted fan of anime.
Yeah.
And I will give a lot of credit to RDC, man. When I started to be more boisterous and kind of open about my like anime fandom, that's dope. That's so dope. It was because of RDC. I'm not saying that that's not everybody's case.
Yeah.
But like there's so many black kids that enjoyed anime that nobody talked about because it just was overarching, just looked weird.
I didn't really realize how many people watched Dragon Ball Z kind of growing up until like I seen on social media people had the same memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was watching shit I didn't even know was like I didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh was anime.
Right.
I didn't know Pokemon was anime, but that was shit we ride it for. So shout out to RDC, man. Some real pillars in the culture.
For sure. Because I definitely, when I went to DreamCon, I was like, whoa.
It was like 90% people of color.
Yes.
And it's all anime lovers. And it's so dope, the community they've been able to build. And DreamCon again this year, and it's in a bigger venue. I don't know if y'all
This
interested.
shit get bigger every year.
Every year.
Every year it get
That's
bigger.
They just keep
It's
growing.
gonna be at
And I
the.
love it.
I love it
Keep
as well.
growing, bro.
My boy, Sir Booty Warrior, who be in your chat,
He be in there. Oh, he
Bro.
be in RDC streams.
he be gifted in RDC shit.
Oh,
'Cause
you was
I
for
watch-
real when you said that?
Yes, I watch RDC streams.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not on the same level, but it's similar to us, where like one person is streaming, but the whole friend group is there.
Yeah.
And they funny as hell. So no matter they playing Mario Kart, well, they so bad at Marvels, by the way. Golly.
Yeah.
I'm there, and then so I will see. I hear Mark or Dylan, Sir Booty Warrior with another 10 gifted. I'm like, that's my guy. I met Sir Booty Warrior in New York. And like when I did that, I did a Shopify pop up, and he was like, "You know who I am?" I was like, "No, what's up? What's your name?" I'm Sir Booty Warrior. I was like, "No,"
Yeah.
because he used to be in Pierre's chat a lot. So I FaceTime Pierre. Pierre, guess who this is? It's Sir Booty Warrior. So every time I see him gifting RDC's chat, I type W Sir Booty Warrior.
It's
He
the
likes
one
to-
dude. You know the one dude in my chat. I'm still trying to meet to this day.
Who's that?
Below average meat, man.
Below average me. You got to see if the name is right.
Yeah.
It's such a funny name because it's not spelt the
Yeah.
way you think. So like, if you're not thinking about it and you just say it, you're like, oh, that's hilarious.
Is this with Marvels, how everybody had these freaky names? Is that
No,
something from Overwatch? No?
because another one of my goats, my YouTube goats, TBH, the Black Oak Highgate, also tweeted something similar to what you were saying, where he was like in a jokingly sense, we need to have conversations. Some of these crazy ass names on Marvel. So you're not the only person to recognize.
Bro, I
how
said that
crazy it
every
is.
game. I'm like, I honestly be like, depending on how bad their names is how good their team gonna be. If they're bad, if they have some crazy names, I'm like, these motherfuckers might be real. These dudes finna probably bust our ass.
I remember
this
one time
game.
we was like, this has to be a group of bots, and one of the names was so, I was like, there's no way.
There's
Yeah,
no
right,
way they
right.
let
There's no
that
way
be in
Marvel made that name.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then somebody was like, maybe they did it just to make it look normal.
there.
If
No.
you were to, in theory, create a new user, because your username has always been either Big Sexy Baller or DMills22. If you were to create something outside of that, what would it be? Because I got like Butter Off Dead. I've had Dark Skin Doom. Like I've done a
honestly
lot
don't
of
even know.
random stuff like that.
I don't
Mike has
know.
always been pretty generic too, though, right?
Well, he's with Loki now.
True. That's not in the realm of you.
I
I
can-
might
might
go
have to change.
Yeah,
I
you
might
got
have to
to switch
change
that
it
now,
'cause
brother.
I
Actually,
don't
I
be
might
on
change
Loki
to
no
D
more.
Hills.
D Hills
That's
is
a
really
great
good
nickname.
name. That's a really good name.
But then you always got to play heels though.
Oh, I don't.
No, you don't.
That's how. If your name is like that, then you got to play.
Well, I could just try to do it, but if someone beat me to it, you know.
Yeah, you can't be a complete one trick.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out. You can't be no one trick and try to be successful.
You know what I like watching? This is this dude on YouTube. He spectates the #1 player for
talking
whatever
about Tim?
character. Yeah, Tim. he did the Rocky Raccoon, and like the dude he was spectating was going nuts, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never seen a Rocky Raccoon be this good.
You know what's crazy? And this is that to make me seem probably real crazy. Before 2 years ago, when they did the Twitch Wrapped,
Yeah.
Tim was my number one streamer for 3 years in a row.
Oh wow.
Where he was playing Overwatch
Okay.
and playing Call of Duty. That he was my number one guy. Nowadays, I get in there here and there.
I never followed.
I
him
never
on
really,
Twitch.
I never really got into.
I've
Tim.
just seen his YouTube videos.
I would be. The times that I watched him is like real back in the day when it's like he's playing Fortnite with one of the other
Yes,
dudes and it's
for
like
sure.
he's in there.
Because he was in like when the Ninja friend group and him and Nick Merckx and some other guys. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's something he do every stream though. He spectate. He was spectating. I'm sure you might see this video soon because this is what I saw yesterday. He was spectating the number one Bucky
Okay.
He
in
must have been
console lobbies.
spazzing.
In console lobbies though.
In console lobbies?
In console lobbies.
Oh.
Because you know they always are worse than the
Yeah.
rest of us. Let's be real. I'm sorry, console players, but like that's just.
Did
the
you get
reality.
your mouse and keyboard, by the way?
I keep forgetting to go.
Oh.
And then the last time we left after doing, I think the linear show, I was gonna go, but then I think they had closed. Someday we was here, we left, and they closed at 6, and I was like, damn.
Damn. Yeah, I feel that. I'm gonna have to stop there to get more filament from my printer.
Okay.
What you been printing out?
Bunch of bullshit, Mike.
If I was you, I would just fill up like a shelf with just random shit.
In my office, I have a shelf of a bunch of random shit.
Have you made anything for Avery?
I made her like a whistle. It's like it's an instrument.
Oh.
I
A
think I can,
harmonica?
I can look at my print history real quick.
A recorder? I ain't heard of a recorder in a long time.
You remember? Did you have to learn how to play the recorder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all did, right?
I think so. Didn't we all get one?
Yeah.
Like it had to be like some
Yeah, I
cheap
think we all
plastic
had
one,
to
but I'm pretty
pass-
sure we all had one.
Yeah, KB didn't go to our school.
I think it was middle school.
It was in elementary.
Oh, it might have been elementary school.
Elementary.
I made her a pan flute.
Okay.
You may have heard her playing it when you come to our crib every
What's
once in a
a
while. 'Cause
pan flute?
it's one of them ones. It's like
Like a harmonica type?
Yeah.
In theory, yeah, it's similar to
Oh.
a harmonica. She fucking loved that thing though, and it took how long? 3 hours to print one button. I ain't have to do anything. One button, boop. But I want to do a big project though, because I always see these things of people doing like an Iron Man helmet.
Oh.
I want to do something like that. It just takes like 100+ hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take a lot of filament.
A lot.
I'm
So I
talking-
need to stock up for sure. But one day I will. One day I will. And
So what, you just gotta let it run?
yeah, and every like 6 hours or so, you take a part off and start the next piece.
I need you to do like the Thor's like gauntlet hand for me.
Thor gauntlet hand. Let's see.
Or make Thor's hammer?
Bro, you gotta stop saying that.
Make Mjolnir. Yeah, they got Mjolnir right here. I can make a Thor's hammer.
Is it gonna have the same capabilities?
Well, it's not about the hammer, it's about the holder.
Yeah. Nah, it's got some magic to it.
Oh, you ain't been locked in, brother. You don't remember when Hela grabbed the thing and crushed it?
Yeah, I do.
And then Odin told him in his dream, like, it was just a vessel. The lightning and thunder still in
that's
you.
when he started going crazy.
That's when
and
he
he
started
using
going
the
crazy.
thunder.
That's when they played that, you know that song?
Yeah.
And he just
But I'm
started
just
hooping.
saying, it's got some magic in it though.
For sure. I mean, yeah, it's his.
Because
his
like I'm
thing.
saying, if he wanted to, he could put it on here and it'll stay there.
Right, even though it's the heaviest object
Right.
ever. Yeah, for sure. I've been thinking about getting into comics again.
Bro, I know the
You
perfect
got
person
so many,
to hit.
You have so many comics.
I have manga.
I know Colton will get
isn't
you
that
into some
considered comics?
comics.
I mean, yeah, Japanese
Yeah.
comics, but I mean like Americanized.
Oh.
Colton will get you into some comics.
I
That's all
really
he talk about with me.
a character that I love but never was able to dive into is Flash,
Mm.
and I heard the TV show is ass, so I want to go. That's just what I heard. I ain't watched it. I just asked.
I
people-
never
people on Twitter
sat
said it
down
was
and
ass.
watched Flash.
I think I've only seen a few episodes when I was a kid.
They said that it's unrealistic because he loses fights. Flash should never lose a fight ever. I'm just saying what they were saying. In theory, he shouldn't be able to lose because he has super perception as well. I want to read about him. Shit, I don't know, bro. I'm just going off what the Twitterverse was telling me because I was asking them like any of the Marvel or comic book shows good,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying like WandaVision is good. I watched WandaVision, and they said there's a new season of Daredevil coming out. I've never watched Daredevil, but the new trailer looks elite, so I might hop into Daredevil to see this new season.
Did you?
And they said Loki was pretty good too.
I started watching Loki.
You start watching Loki?
I started watching Loki, yeah. I also, when I was going through like the whole Marvel thing, I didn't know that Punisher is Ghost Rider. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So apparently, like he died. This has to be like a part of the big storyline, but like he dies with like obviously Thanos in him, and he goes to hell. But in order to like get back or something, he comes back as Ghost Rider.
Really? That's canon? That's what I was thinking too. That's canon? That's because sometimes stuff happened in one comic book, but it's not, But if that's canon, that's pretty dope.
I'm not sure. I think it's in at least it has the Marvel Comics up here for it.
Okay. Derek, man, this Friday me and Derek going on a little date.
Where to?
Disney on Ice with our families.
That sounds nice though.
No, it's gonna be fun as hell.
Where's that at, in the city?
UC, yeah.
Oh shit.
I went last year with my family and it was so fun.
I've never been.
You're gonna have a blast. And I genuinely mean that. Like when I going into it, I was like, I'm doing this for my daughter. It's not. I was there and I was like, damn, this shit raw.
That's how I was when I went to go see Inside Out 2 with my family.
Yeah,
I was
I
like, we
feel
just finna see this. But that movie was raw as hell.
It's one of my favorite movies ever, bro. I've seen it like 3 times now. So when you were saying the other day of a scene, I was like, I do not remember that
Bro,
scene.
I'm really surprised you don't remember that scene. That scene clicked for me.
Okay. The thing that clicked for me in Inside Out 2 is their portrayal of anxiety at the end.
Yeah.
Because that's what anxiety is, 100%, bro.
I haven't watched Inside Out yet.
That's probably
Neither of them?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I watched the second one first. The second one was so good. I was like, I gotta go back and watch
same,
the first one.
Same, bro. Because we rented the second one, and I asked my wife, like, did I need to see the first? She's like, you should be fine. It's a kid's movie at the end of the day. I'm like, all right, bet. Damn near cried a couple times in it, and I'm like, I gotta go see the first one.
Damn.
And I told myself, because I have a better understanding of what anxiety is because of this movie, I bet I'll do a pretty good job of handling my anxiety now. 2 days later, that shit was over. Because the way they portray it is so perfect because she's all over the place trying to prevent things from happening that ain't happened yet.
Yeah.
That's literally what anxiety is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what anxiety is.
I know. This is not the verbatim what they said, but it's like she has the test or whatever, or I think it's like the big, basically like the practice for the hockey thing or whatever, and then anxiety's going crazy. It's like, what if aliens come in and they take over the world and you can't even like, it be stuff like that.
Stupid stuff, but that's how the brain works. She did have a moment in that movie where she was on some BS with her home when they was on the ice and she fucked her friend up. This is at the end, and then she had the full-on panic attack.
Yeah.
Because she knocked her friend over because they were on different teams because she found out, spoilers, I guess, for a movie that came out 2 years ago, that her 2 best friends were going to the opposing school. So she was not feeling great about it. Mm-hmm. And now she's like, this is the #1 school for hockey. I need to get in with these guys because these are the guys that's going to be my teammates. And she like ran over her day one homegirl. And her homegirl was like hurt. And then she got a penalty, and she's in a penalty box spazzing like a full-on anxiety attack.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything is moving, and nothing is happening at the same time. She's sweating. She's shaking. And I'm like, that's what a full-on anxiety attack is.
That whole movie sadness had me just mad. Everything going wrong with her, like they trying to get back to the little like the mind or whatever, they're trying to get back to the original place. And it's like they have these like 4 points where they can try to get back, and every time they get to one of the point, it just breaks down. And they keep going. It's just like, damn, how the hell they like? I was for real panicking. They're like, how they gonna get back?
It's so crazy. This basketball podcast is talking about a movie made for
That's
4-year-olds, but
Hey, there's a lot of people that's watching this that got kids.
the movie was made for everybody, right? I like the character arc that Joy had. Because Joy was she was a controlling motherfucker because she wanted you to be joyful all the time. But then she made the realization, you kind of need all these other emotions to be a well-adjusted person.
Yeah.
And then that's like the end of the movie. Also, another movie I watched recently is called The Wild Robots. It's a Pixar movie.
I feel like I heard about it.
The Wild Robot, not robots. Wild Robot. Elite, Derek. I don't know if your daughter's at the point now where she can sit down and watch a movie, but if she can, please watch the movie with your daughter, bro.
We sat down and watched Lion King the other day.
The newer one?
Yeah.
Okay, how was
She
that?
was actually pretty engaged.
That's
She was
good.
sitting down watching. Even like when Simba tried to hunt, what was the bird's name again?
It's beyond me, brother. I ain't seen
I forgot the bird's
Lion
name.
King movie in forever. I know the character, though. I can't remember the name.
But Simba like fake hunted him and jumped at him, and then it was a jump scare, and she like reacted,
Oh, that's
and I was like, oh, look at you.
Yeah, no,
Zazu, yeah,
Zazu.
Zazu.
There it is.
Yeah.
No, the best thing about being a parent is watching your kid like develop the next thing.
Yes.
Like I was talking to Avery, and this is so small, so maybe this is nothing. But we chat, like I talk to Avery like a person, not like a baby or a kid. And we were talking about cars.
Yeah.
And I was saying, Daddy need a car wash, man. Do you see my car? It's dirty. And she was like, yeah, it's like a monster truck. And I was like, yeah, it's a pretty big car.
Yeah.
And she was saying, in so many words, I'm adding words, but she was basically saying that I remember when I went to the monster truck show, and she asked me, who did I go with? Nathan or Wesley, which is two of her friends.
Yeah.
They're both white blonde kids at the same age. So she has trouble remembering who is who. But her to ask me Wesley or Nathan was a cool moment. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but she used the word or.
Yeah.
And or is not a word you teach, it's a word you pick up in context.
Yeah.
And she picked that up, and now she uses the word or. Like,
oh wow.
and I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking dope.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Big Aves, man. Shout out to Big
like
Aves.
Ivy is starting to like say what she wants.
Yeah.
So like recently,
Me and Ivy like this, by the way. I just want to let you know. We like this.
A few times she's told us she wants to eat.
Oh, wow.
And she'll run to her high chair and like pull on it.
That's dope.
And I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
is you're hungry?
Yeah.
And
That's
like
pretty dope.
I guess she's learned that she's hungry.
Yeah. That's cool because you, as a parent, you never really know when to
Yeah.
feed the kid.
Yeah.
So if they can tell you, perfect.
Or like you could try to feed them and they don't want to
You're
eat.
just not in the mood.
Yeah.
But if they're telling you that, oh, it's time to eat, we can make it happen.
I
Baby.
seen my sister get like a little flustered when I was at her party. She, like I said, I texted y'all. She invited a bunch of kids. Like there was 20 plus kids in the house. I think my mom said she invited like 25 people, whatever. And then so they're all throughout the house and they're like in her room playing with her toys. And my sister's just like
Too much, right?
too much. Like they're not even putting the toys where they where they're supposed to be. They're not playing with them right, and all that type of stuff. And it's just like it's okay. Like we'll take care of this later.
Yeah. No, that's one thing because she's obviously not an only child, but because there's such a gap in y'all, but she does have your cousin though, right?
She does.
Okay. So though she's again not an only child, she has someone similar in age that she's around a lot. Okay. Because that was one of the fears that I had with Avery potentially being an only child is that like some things you don't pick up unless you have a sibling at a young age. And Avery's got one coming soon.
Yeah. Like now that I think about it, it's definitely times where it's like one of them's acting out and they'll look at each other like he kind of going crazy right now. Like it's just something like example not to be.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So I think if one could recognize that the other one's acting out or just being crazy, it kind of puts the other person in a place like it just shows them how to like
Let's
act.
put you on the spot. When we expecting your first one?
I don't know. My dad asked me that too at that party, and I was like, I
He's
don't
ready
know.
to be a granddad?
I guess so.
That's pretty cool. Because, I mean, we just at that age now. Not saying that you should go and try to do it, but like, serious relationship and everything.
Do it when you're ready, man.
Yeah, for sure. Do it when you're ready. You're the one, you and Kyron are the two people in the friend group that like when y'all have a kid, it's going to be so funny to see. More Kyron than you,
I
though.
feel like it's gonna be life changing for me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. A lot of the stuff that you do right now is not going to fly when you get that kid. So maybe that's why you should chill out for a little bit more. Because you streaming until 4 a.m. and then waking up at noon, when that kid come around, that shit is so dead.
There's a lot of streams I watch that be having a kid in the stream. Go, not in the stream,
I know
but
what you mean,
they'll still be taking care
Right.
of their, be their daddy time on stream.
Yeah, I be like, Tim is an example of this.
Yeah.
Tim has a kid, I don't know the age, but like, he be streaming like 12-hour days.
Oh, he do?
And I be thinking like, damn, where you really, because he don't stream every single day.
Yeah.
But like, we went to that game yesterday. We left at 2:30.
Yeah.
And we got back at, let's say, 10. For like 8 hours without seeing my daughter, it was like hell, bro.
Yeah.
And when I finally did get to see it, it was great. So like to be away for that long, and people do this every day, 8 hours of work. Like I'm not acting like this is some type of plague or something, but like 12-hour shift without seeing the kid, I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of so many people.
Yeah. But lucky for him, he turned his PC off. He walked right upstairs. He don't got to do too much.
Yeah. It's an experience, man.
I think though every time I do get a little bit of baby fever, something also triggers that like I don't want no kids too.
I feel that. Because it is a hard-ass job, too, at the same time. Rewarding job. The most rewarding job, but it definitely can.
I know for the party, because there was so many kids, I was talking to Elena, like, you think that, are the parents going to actually stay there with the kids or they just dropping off? Most of them just drop them off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm still struggling with.
And she's 8 years old, to put it in perspective. So they're probably around like 8, 9, at most 10, I guess, if it's like Alex's friend is
Right.
there. But like,
That's not too bad then.
yeah.
Um,
One girl was on her, like, she got there, laid on the couch, and was just on her iPad. I promise you, like, legit on her iPad.
I think that's a
Do
place.
you struggle with that with the nanny too?
What's that?
Leaving Avery with the nanny?
Yeah, now she's more a part of the family. She's been there for what, 5-6 months now.
Okay.
Early on, the first 3 months of her working with us, one of us were always at home.
Okay.
But like Tuesdays, my wife has therapy, and then I have this. So like, she just got home. So from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, she was there with Allie. But they're usually in her room, which we have a camera, not for the nanny, but just to watch your daughter, so just in case she do something when she's sleeping. So like, I feel pretty secure with Allie now. After a long time of just being, you don't know this person. You're introducing them not just to the family, but to the kid and the house. And she's great. She's great.
That's good.
She is really
The dogs like her?
They do.
What do you put them in a crate? When
No. They get acclimated pretty fast. I mean, it's just like normal dog stuff. It ain't like they love her or they hate her. They just dogs.
They just be a new person in the house.
Yeah, just a new person in the house. But now not really a new person in the house because she there 3 days a week or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe that's something that me and my girl could use sometimes.
Mhm.
Not
So
as
like a
full-time-
babysitter?
Yeah, because like when we went to the game or something yesterday, like she had to miss out on work and stuff. So like maybe if we can have somebody that can really help.
Yeah, if you can, it's definitely beneficial, mostly because there's so many things that you lose as a parent
Yeah.
that it's hard to get back, like date nights, being productive outside of being a parent can be real tough. So that's why I was like, it took a long time for me to convince my wife that a nanny/help was even worth it because my wife doesn't work, obviously. She's like, why not just have me do it?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be home anyway. But like, you need your own personal time.
I
if
think
you can't get it.
that stay-at-home mom syndrome is a real thing where you just kind of feel trapped.
Yes.
So
Being a
it's
stay-at-home
good
mom
to
is
get
also
out.
like a full-time job.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
So, like,
24-hour job. Yeah.
It's a mental, like I whenever I'm alone with Ivy for like extended hours, like after 8 or 10 hours and Angie's gone, I'm just like, bro, my brain is like fried.
Mush.
That
Like,
be me with my sister.
Mush, bro.
Like I don't like my brain just I'm on autopilot. Like I'm just
Autopilot might be the perfect way to describe it.
like you eventually you just like I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. There are times where we're together, and since we've been reading the book, which we're postponing the book until P get back, by the way, so we're not doing book club today. Jonathan Haidt did mention that like kids said that when they were with their parents is like active on their phone and stuff. And since I read that, whenever I'm with Avery, my phone is like in the other room, and I do feel like that has helped my connection with her quite a bit. Because like if I don't have my phone, and we do TV, but we don't do as much TV as we used to.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I gonna do? Just let her walk around here by herself? No, we about to go play some fucking Barbies.
Yeah,
And we
she
about to
only
lock
watches TV if it's something that's for her. If I turn to the NBA app, she just disengages completely.
Yeah.
And then she'll start playing with her stuff and like she's locked in on what she's doing.
You know what sport Avery loves watching with me?
Baseball?
Golf.
Golf?
Really?
She loves watching golf, bro.
I don't really watch golf.
I've been watching the TGL.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Is golf an all year thing?
No and yes. You'll find some like there's still pro leagues, but it's not PGA.
Okay.
That'll still be going on. And then the TGL just started the simulator league. So we'll watch that.
It's a simulator league.
Hell yeah, bro. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy. They played yesterday.
Is it like us where you just got to get 15 feet or 10 feet? You got to put it in.
No, but this is the way it works. They tee off on the screen. Once they get to the green, they actually have a green.
Oh.
It's a really cool product. The first 3 weeks were blowouts, so it wasn't great. I heard yesterday's match was really good, so I'm gonna go watch that. I don't know who won, but like once you get to the outskirts of the green or like the
Do they
rough,
have real simulators like that?
I think they specially built this for this league.
Oh.
Because not only do they have a green, the green shifts depending on what hole you're at.
Wow.
Okay.
So it like you never really know, and it's such a cool idea.
They should make that for real. I would
I
actually
think
go
it's
play that.
so expensive though.
That
They
shit
would make
sounds
They
expensive.
would make their money back.
Maybe, but you got to think how many people can you have at the same time? You got to think about how big a green is,
Yeah.
and if you having 7 of those moving,
Because like
you need a
think about
warehouse.
how big like the building that we use for Top Golf.
Right.
It could probably be that big, right?
They may need to be bigger if you want more than 2 to 3 people, bro. Just one day,
Oh,
just tune into highlights. When you get
Yeah.
later today, just type in TGL and see how fucking big this arena is.
Okay.
And how big the green is and everything. But like me and Avery would sit down and watch it and be like, she knows Tiger now.
Oh wow. Ivy knows Elmo.
Equally athletes.
Yeah.
Elmo
If
one of them
anything,
ones.
Elmo might have a little bit more clout.
You kidding? Elmo's one of them ones. And his
Elmo-
clout can never die.
Elmo draws clicks like crazy.
Yes, he does. Shout out to our friend Miss Rachel for her Netflix show too, man.
Yeah, I'm actually watching now. I didn't even know you put me on because I had no idea she had one now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's any different than her YouTube channel, but we don't like YouTube in our health, which is ironic because that's 95% of our paycheck.
Yeah.
And the only reason Avery goes on YouTube is for Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
So now you're telling me Miss Rachel is not? She got another place we can watch it. YouTube is dead.
Oh, I use YouTube for all the shows. I mean, Elmo, Miss Rachel. Those are usually.
They say this Sesame
Sesame
Street 2 hours of Elmo's World's compilations got over 130 million views.
And you know what's crazy? It doesn't end like that.
Yeah.
Those videos have no like window of where they end because kids will always rewatch them.
Yeah,
And
no,
then there's
kids
always
definitely
new kids being born that are also gonna grow up watching those videos. So those videos will forever just make money.
Yeah. Bro, my sister used to watch this one guy, and I think his name was like Bippy or
Blippy.
something.
Blippy, one of them ones as well.
I know his money had to be insane.
You know
for
how
them
insane
checks.
it is? He was like, I don't feel like being Blippy no more. I'm going to hire somebody else to be Blippy. Kids won't notice.
He did
It's a
that.
whole different dude. He's
Bro.
got a Blippy in every foreign language. He did a video with Juca. Juca's his name. He's a Spanish Blippy. They
I just
dubbed
know,
over
bro,
his words.
I'm talking about my sister and cousin used to watch the video, same video,
Yeah.
at least a couple times a day, and it's like I'm looking at it, it's got like hundreds of millions of views, like,
Blippy has a
and
universe.
it's only
like,
gonna keep going. Like D-Mill said, the replay value is crazy.
he's got Mika. He's got like 4 animated shows. Bro, Blippy might fuck around and be a billionaire one day.
I'm
bro.
gonna look up what his net worth is.
Yeah,
I
the
know that
kid
ain't
TV
accurate, but
market now is insane.
Y'all trying to do it?
Why not?
it says between 22 to 90 million.
That's such a big range.
It is.
What
Miss
the
Rachel
fuck?
is up there quality though.
She has.
Yeah,
said she has?
She has a better camera, better lighting.
I hope so. She making fucking $1 million a
It
month.
seemed like it took her a while.
It
though.
did though.
It took. Her
It was kind of charming though.
Yeah,
to
it
see her
was.
green screen glitch
Yeah.
out. Her skin tone is different between shoots. It's like, what the fuck is going on? But it was cool. The kids will never care. about
No,
something
they
like
won't. They still love to record.
Bro, I still be going back
100%.
to like kid shows that I'll rewatch or I'll see with my sister and be like, how the hell did I not catch that as like a kid?
that.
Or-
Yeah, facts.
You funny for the green screen.
It happened all the time, bro.
Ah, bro, it's so funny.
Tell Miss Rachel, if you ever want to come onto a basketball podcast, we will welcome you with open
She
arms.
do podcasts.
She does. I saw she was on one of the early morning shows as well.
Yeah.
But she wasn't in character.
No.
She was just herself.
Is she nice?
You know what? You know.
It seemed like it.
You know what's funny about her? You know how she be doing things at parks,
Mhm.
and you know I was like, you know, the people driving past that, they probably think she a nut.
Yeah.
She's a grown woman in the park
Mm-hmm.
dancing and stuff. Some people driving past probably don't know.
I was
who
thinking
she
that
is.
about
Yeah.
Blippy
And
because
she
like
probably think she's crazy.
Right.
I was thinking about that about Blippy because he be renting out like playground, like play areas.
Yeah.
Like he'll go to a certain state that have like a super big like kid play area, and you just see this grown man going through the tunnels or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like talking to the camera. You would think his ass was crazy, but he making bank off
Making
that.
bank. One thing that we did, and we can wrap up after this. When Miss Rachel was on, it might have been a Kelly Clarkson show or something like that. She wasn't in character, so she didn't have to get up on. And I just took a screenshot and I asked Avery, "Who is this?" She said she didn't know. I played the video. As soon as she heard the voice, she says, "Miss Rachel."
Oh wow.
So these kids associate not the face, but it's more of the get up.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like Blippy is Blippy because of what he wears, not from what he looks like.
Futurama had an episode like that.
Really?
Where basically they had this like show, and they eventually found out like the main character is supposed to be a nice ass lady, but they ran into her like backstage, and she's smoking a cigarette. She's like puts it out on him.
Yeah.
He's like, she looked like a total opposite of what she was in the show.
I do love Miss Rachel has a very diverse friend group.
Yes.
Like she has like so many different friends that she has in these videos, and I'm like, I didn't know she was. I wouldn't have never thought she was that diverse.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Squid Games. See, that's why we need to get Austin the mic because they can't hear you at all. But yeah, I remember she was under fire because of one of her friends that she had on the show.
Yeah.
Like, y'all worried about
In
the
what
wrong
way?
shit. Because people are not, they don't like inclusivity.
Ah.
They don't want everybody to be represented. So a certain demographic is really upset about that. And guess what it did? Didn't hurt Miss Rachel pockets. The motherfucking views is about as good as ever.
I just don't even know.
It just never makes
I'm
sense.
gonna
'cause
have to be Mr.
Sesame
Michael,
Street
man.
has
I'm
always
trying to
been
get-
that way.
Yeah.
Sesame Street has always been inclusive to everybody. So I know you watched Sesame Street when you was growing up, and I know if you're gonna say no to Miss Rachel, you're going to Sesame Street, and guess what? They're gonna be there as well.
Yeah.
Everybody has a space.
And now Miss Rachel's working with Sesame Street. So
Now, yeah. So you can't get away
can't get
from
away.
it. How about you teach your own damn kids then? Yeah,
You know
don't
they
want to do
hate
that.
that.
You don't
They
want to
hate
do that,
that.
do you? Fuck it. We appreciate y'all listening or watching this episode of Numbers on the Board. Shout out to everybody that bought the tickets for the San Francisco show. We
Can't
cannot
wait to
wait
meet all y'all.
to meet y'all, put on a great show. Mike said he's gonna perform some unreleased tracks, which is gonna be pretty cool.
He said he having a smoke session with anybody who comes.
A smoke off would be kind of crazy. Who can outsmoke me in this room right now? We love y'all. Get well soon, P. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.